Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 1 of our story. If you like this What If story and want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, check the description for more great content and my playlist. This story was posted by mobilesuit on Wattpad. Now let's start. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, Japan. In the city market district, several explosions rocked the district. A group of civilians is gathering near the market entrance as they are watching something inside the district. Argh! The sound of a boy yelling can be heard from inside the district. As it turns out, the boy is being wrapped by some sort of living slime. 𝐷𝗫𝐻𝐿, die. The boy yells, then he creates a massive explosion from his palm. Nice try, the slime smirked before it tried to wrap the boy even more. On the sidelines are several people wearing costumes with several unique body parts. 𝐷𝗫𝐻𝐿, you're using a human shield. A big, muscular man curses before he moves toward the slime and punches it, only for his punch to be absorbed by the slime. The slime then moves the boy's hand and creates an explosion toward the muscle man, making him fall back. 𝐷𝗫𝐻𝐿, I can't get close, and my punches aren't effective enough. I need help here, the muscle man requested. I can't. I would be burned if I got close, a man with wood all over his body said. I'm busy with the fire here. A man with a fire hydrant-looking costume said as he pointed his hose-like hands to extinguish the market that gets on fire by the boy's explosions. Narrow street, my only weakness. I need at least 2 lanes, a giant lady said outside the market district. 𝐷𝗫𝐻𝐿, none of us has the right quirk for the job. Sorry kid. Hold on a little longer until more heroes arrive. The muscle man yells at the boy. They can't save the boy. A civilian bystander asks. I don't think any of them can, another bystander replied. That boy has a good explosion quirk, but he is making his own rescue difficult if he continues to throw random explosions like that, a bystander claims. And he is also the one who set the stores on fire as well, a bystander claimed. But he doesn't do that intentionally. If he is saved, he'll be hailed as a young hero who survived the impossible. A bystander claims, smiling. In the middle of the civilian bystander, a boy with fluffy dark green hair, symmetrical freckles on his cheeks, and wearing rather worn-out clothes, is staring at the scene while gritting his teeth and clenching his fists. Hero. No he. The boy thought as he watched the explosive boy struggling to escape the slime's grasp. Near the street at the back of all the bystanders, a skinny, skeleton-like man had just arrived after running. He breathes before he looks at the scene. How did this happen? Did I lose him during the jump? I already use all my time. I don't have enough energy left. I am pathetic. The skeleton man curses himself. Yes. The boy thought as he appeared to have a lot on his mind, as he began to hear noises in his head. I'm sorry kid. He doesn't have a quirk. Waste of space. A disappointment. The boy closes his eyes as the noises apparently show some bad memories of the boy's past. Weakling. Useless. Quirkless. The boy opened his eyes and gritted his teeth as he grabbed something from his duffel bag. I am. Earth 2050 It's been 30 years since a supernatural event happened that changed the human race forever, quirks. People who were born with abilities that are often impossible to understand by logic. Some are harmless, some are destructive. The world order was thrown into chaos by the sudden appearance of quirks. It took 2 decades before all the panic and confusion subsided, and humanity accepted quirks as a part of the next human evolution. The next 10 years were filled with a relative uneasy peace between those who have quirks and those who don't. There is tension between the 2 sides, but mostly peace is achieved until it isn't anymore. August 2050, Tokyo, Japan. A quirk extremist group launched a series of terror attacks all over Tokyo, claiming it to be a wake-up call for the quirked people to rise against the oppression. The day when the quirked finally declared the Quirk Uprising. The attacks were so devastating that the entire Kanto region was declared under martial law, and the Japan Self-Defense Force was mobilized to deal with the extremist group. The war lasted for 13 days, with the cost of almost half of Tokyo being destroyed and thousands of lives lost. The aftermath of this event marked a large change in the world for the first time since quirks started appearing. A new law dictates that anyone who possesses quirks, who makes public displays of quirks, is against the law, except in the cases of self-defense, such as when one is under attack, or have special permission from the government for productive activities. And one permission stands out as it has been in the spotlight for the New World Order for the last 170 years. A permission for an individual to use their quirk to fight for others, to protect the masses, to do what is right. A career once thought impossible and fictional, a career of being a superhero, a hero. The boy claims he surprised the people around him. What? A bystander said, confused. What is he talking about? A bystander asks another bystander. Is he okay? A bystander asks, confused and worried. The boy then grabs something from his large duffel bag. The sound of a machine can be heard from where the boy is, confusing the people around him. The muscle man glanced back as he heard the boy yell, "What is he doing?" He thought. "What are you?" The muscle man didn't finish as the boy suddenly ran past him and the wooden man towards the slime. "What are you doing?" The wooden man yelled in surprise. "Come at it." The muscle man yells as he tries to grab the boy, to no avail. "Wait, that kid." The skeleton yells in surprise as he recognizes the kid, but he also notices a device on the kid's right arm. What is he wearing? He thought. The slime notices the kid is running towards him. "Do you want to join us?" "Ah, but this kid already has a good quirk," the slime said as the explosive boy tried to escape so hard from him. As the boy is dashing toward the slime, he remembers something from his past. "Izuku, you might be quirkless, but you are not useless," a man told a younger version of the boy, now known as Izuku. But everyone said I am." The young Izuku said with wet eyes as he was crying. "Izuku, a quirk does not define who you are. What you do, what you say, what you achieve, that is what defines you," the man told Izuku before he kneeled in front of Izuku. "And remember this, Izuku. That's a quirk." The man said seriously. "I'll take you as well," the slime said as he launched several tentacles towards Izuku. "It's just a tool," Izuku cried as the slime tentacles approached him. The device on Izuku's right arm is engaged and deploys a large sword. Izuku then stopped abruptly before he swung his right arm up and sliced the slime's tentacles. Once they see what just happened, everyone is surprised. "What the?" The muscle hero yells in surprise. "Is that?" the giant hero said in surprise. "A sword," the skeleton man said in surprise. The slime said surprised for a second before he realized what just happened. "UBC." The slime is enraged as it launches several tentacles toward Izuku. Izuku dodged some of the tentacles and sliced a few before he dashed forward, then slid down, avoiding several tentacles before he sliced the tentacles and then jumped up. The slime launched several more tentacles toward Izuku, but Izuku's parkour passed some tentacles while slicing some and getting closer and closer to the slime and the explosion boy. The heroes and bystanders are surprised by Izuku's sword device and sword skills. "Gra, you are so annoying," the slime yelled in irritation, then he created a slime wall in front of him. Izuku dashed towards the slime wall, then vertically sliced the wall before he spun right and horizontally sliced the slime wall. Just as the slime wall is sliced off by Izuku, an explosion suddenly comes from behind the slime wall and knocks Izuku away. DMN. Izuku groans as he flies back from the explosion's shockwave. "Kid!" the muscle hero yells in surprise. Izuku landed on the ground a few meters back and slid for a few more meters before stopping. "I let my guard down." He groaned in pain. What is he doing risking his life like that? The skeleton man thought before he realized something. He's risking his life. While here am I, the #1 hero, letting the rookies and a civilian make up my mistake. He thought angrily. "Kid, get out of there. Let us handle it." The muscle man yells at Izuku. "Oh, you are handling this very well," Izuku replies sarcastically as he tries to get up. "I got you now." The slime yells as he launches several tentacles toward Izuku. Izuku gritted his teeth before he rolled back, making the tentacles strike the ground instead. Izuku gets up, only for an explosion to launch towards him. Izuku then jumps back before he is far enough from the slime and hostage boy. That slime villain. He is using the hostage's quirk to attack the boy. The wooden hero claim. Kid, get out of there now. You've done enough. The muscle hero yells at Izuku. Izuku grimaces and retracts the blade on the device, but then he raises his right arm toward the slime and points there like he is aiming at the slime. Just give it up, kid. You've annoyed me enough. The slime claimed, then he launched several tentacles toward Izuku. Kid, get back here. The wood hero yells. Izuku only stared at the slime tentacles as he put his index finger on a trigger on his arm device. Izuku inhales, then he slowly exhales a cold, misty breath. Engaging, Izuku simply said, then he pulled the trigger, and a pinkish laser beam shot out from his arm device, disintegrating the slime tentacle. Ah! The slime screamed as if he felt his limbs being torn off. Once again, the heroes and bystanders are in shock at Izuku. A sword device, sword skill, and now a laser beam. Who is this guy, and what the hell is that device that he uses? Because of the slime being shot by Izuku, he started to lose his grip on the explosion boy hostage. The hostage boy finally manages to see outside since the slime is off his head. He is about to yell at the slime when he sees Izuku firing at the slime with his arm device. The hostage's eyes widen in surprise. Izuku. The hostage boy said in surprise as he recognized Izuku. Izuku continued to shoot the slime over and over until he heard a beeping sound from his device. He looked at a small display on his device, and it displayed that the device had almost run out of particles. So Izuku stops shooting and lowers his arm. What was that? The wood hero said in surprise. I don't know. The hydrant hero replies in surprise. Laser beam. A bystander said, surprised. It doesn't look like a quirk. Another bystander said. It came from the kid's arm device, a bystander pointed out. A support device. A bystander wonders. It doesn't look like a support device to me. The way that kid uses it. It's like a main armament instead, a bystander claims. The skeleton man clenched his left hand on his stomach, young Midoriya. The way you use that device and the way you fight. You are. The man thought. The slime seems hurt but manages to recover as he regenerates the shot-off parts of him. I changed my mind. I'll kill you. The slime yells as he charges forward with the hostage. Izuku then deployed the sword again and charged forward. Kid. The muscle hero yells. The slime launched several slime tentacles toward Izuku. Izuku sliced tentacles left and right before he jumped and somersaulted in midair before he heavy vertical sliced down on the slime without hitting the hostage. The slime grunted in pain while the hostage only watched in shock before he noticed something. Move, the hostage boy yelled, gaining Izuku's attention. Izuku looks up and sees the hostage's arm pointed at him. Next thing he knows, an explosion blasts him back, Diamin. He thought as he flung into the air. I'll kill you. The slime screams as he raises a large slime tentacle to strike Izuku midair. No. The hostage boy muffled a scream. DMN. Izuku cursed his luck as he was unable to move midair. I have to do something no matter the cost. The skeleton man claimed that his body began to expand, and steam came off his body. Huh. A bystander said, confused as he noticed steam coming from the skeleton man. The heroes finally dash toward the fight. Save the boy. The villain will kill him. The muscle hero yells. The slime strikes Izuku with his tentacle. But suddenly, something moves at high speed past the running heroes and towards the fight. This something then blocks the slime's tentacle as a dust cloud surrounds them. Izuku landed on the ground, unhurt from the tentacle. He looks up and sees a giant, muscular man with blonde hair and two tufts that stick up above his head, making a V shape, and a wide smile holding back the slime's tentacle. I am really pathetic, the giant muscular man claimed. Izuku's shocked expression is quickly replaced by a sour one, and he faces away from the man with a frustrated look. I'm sorry, young Midoriya. I didn't live up to my words, the giant muscular man claimed. The hostage's eyes widen in complete shock. Is. He tried to say something, but he was too shocked to say it. Is that? A bystander said in surprise at the giant muscle man's sudden appearance. All Might. A bystander said, shocked. That's All Might. The All Might. A bystander claims in shock. The number one hero, All Might. A bystander is excited about the giant muscle man known as All Might. Holy CRP. It's All Might. The wooden hero said in surprise. He was here. The giant hero said, confused. All Might. The muscle hero said, shocked. I'm sorry for being a hypocrite, young Midoriya. All Might apologized. Now let me make up for my mistake, he claimed before he faced the slime. Damn you, All Might. The slime tries to attack All Might. All Might grabbed the hostage inside the slime and PP his right arm, Detroit. Smash. All Might pulled the hostage out of the slime and punched the slime with a large force that it simply blasted it away the slime. The wind pressure created by the powerful punch rocked the entire market district. The wind pressure then created a giant tornado inside the market district as everyone took cover. All Might puts the knocked-out hostage down before he kneels down, breathing heavily while Izuku just stands beside All Might, and the heroes and bystanders watch in total silence. A water droplet fell from the sky, then more droplets fell from the sky, then soon, it started to rain in the area. The muscle hero looked up to the dark sky. Holy 𝐶𝐿. He changed the weather, he said shocked. All Might wipes a drop of blood away from his mouth before he stands up. The bystanders then began to clap and cheer as the fight was over, most dramatically and epically. All Might stumbles back a little but manages to recover before he raises his fist to signal his victory, which only increases the bystanders' cheering. All Might gives a smile at Izuku, but Izuku looks away before retracting the sword. Later, the slime villain, inside some small containers, is taken into custody as more heroes and police arrive at the market district. The heroes who were already present during the first commotion salute the police who take the slime villain away in their patrol cars. All Might is busy with the press and civilians who interview him and fanboy him. Meanwhile, Izuku is releasing his arm device and putting it back inside his large duffel bag when three heroes approach him. Do you have a death wish? The muscle hero/death arms scolded Izuku. There was absolutely no reason for you to put yourself in danger like that. The wooden hero/𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 would scolded. While I admit that you have guts, you used those guts in the wrong place, kid. The giant hero/𝐴𝐻𝐿ady scolded. On the other spectrum, the hostage explosive boy has already woken up and is being praised for his bravery and persistence during the incident. A hero is praising the boy and asking him to work with his agency once he graduates from a hero school. But the boy shows no interest as he stares at Izuku with deep thought before looking away. Having had enough of being scolded, Izuku stood up. What are you going to charge me for? Illegal use of quirks. Being a vigilante. Izuku asks rather angrily and sarcastically. Why are you being so sarcastic? Of course, you will be charged with those, the muscle hero said angrily. And how are you supposed to charge me for illegal use of quirk, if I don't have one to begin with? Izuku said coldly. This surprises the heroes and the people around them. The explosive boy perked up and looked at Izuku in surprise. Quirkless. Is he really? The explosive boy wonders about something. Wait, you are quirkless? The giant hero asks in surprise. Izuku grabbed his wallet and showed his ID to the heroes. The wood hero grabs Izuku's ID, and it shows that the quirk part says, quirkless. Izuku is really quirkless. All Might dropped his smile a little as he stared at Izuku with both a sympathetic and guilty look. The bystanders began to whisper to one another. He is quirkless. But he doesn't look like it. But what about his moves during the fight? He looked like he had an agility quirk at least. So he only relied on his support device to fight. Then he was only lucky that All Might saved him. Yeah, he is an idiot to try to fight with only a support device. Too bad, I was thinking I could recruit him. But that goes up in smoke. What was he trying to do? Prove that without a quirk, he still could be a hero. What an idiotic way of thinking. Izuku looks down as he already expects them will react like that. They will focus on him being quirkless despite what he has accomplished. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 shook his head while still holding Izuku's ID. Kid, you are really dash. He didn't finish as Izuku forcefully grabbed his ID from 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫's hand. If you don't have anything else, we're done here, Izuku said, annoyed, before he walked away. Wait dash. Death Arms tries to grab Izuku when All Might puts his hand in front of him. Don't. He has done nothing wrong, All Might claims, letting Izuku walk away. But All Might. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 tries to argue. The hostage boy gets up and tries to chase Izuku, but paramedics prevent him from doing so, claiming that they have to inspect him first. Frustrated, the boy could only watch Izuku disappear from his view. Several blocks away from the market district, Izuku is walking away, presumably back to his house. Well, today is... Izuku sighed when he heard something. Izuku. Someone called Izuku's name. Izuku already knew who called him. It was the hostage boy from earlier. The hostage boy stops in front of Izuku while breathing heavily. Izuku. He breathed. Izuku took a deep breath before turning back towards the boy who was chasing him. Hey, Katsuki, Izuku greeted the boy. The boy, revealed to be Katsuki, is still breathing, but he looks both surprised and angry at Izuku. I'm sorry our fateful reunion has to be like that, Izuku apologized. Katsuki was still breathing before he took a deep breath and breathed out quickly, and stared at Izuku. I thought you were dead, he said. Izuku only stared at Katsuki with a flat and somewhat sour expression. Sorry to disappoint, he said with a sad smile. Sorry to disappoint. I am not disappointed that you are still alive, Izuku. Bakugo yells in disbelief. Izuku, when was the last time you called me like that? Izuku asked, making Bakugo flinch. Let me remind you, a long, long time ago, Izuku reminded coldly. Bakugo looks down in guilt and regret. He tries to say something but is unable to. I don't save you so I could make you owe me or anything. I just happened to be in the area, and dash, Izuku explained when Bakugo cut him. And run towards danger and fight like an idiot. Bakugo yells angrily. What the hell is wrong with you? He asked, annoyed. Izuku only stared at Bakugo as he exhaled slowly. That's more like it. The Katsuki that I know so well, he claimed. Bakugo flinched again before he gritted his teeth and grabbed Izuku's shirt. Bakugo is struggling to say something to Izuku. Go on. Say it, Izuku somewhat taunted. Bakugo only gritted his teeth and clenched Izuku's shirt harder. I don't owe you anything. Bakugo finally said thought he looked guilty, which clearly not what Bakugo wanted to say. No, you don't, Izuku simply said before he made Bakugo release his shirt. Bakugo takes a step back in anguish. We might or might not meet again. Goodbye, Katsuki Bakugo, Izuku said before he walked away. Bakugo gritted his teeth before he jumped and tried to grab Izuku's shoulder. But Izuku suddenly disappears from Bakugo's sight, surprising him. Bakugo suddenly feels a massive pain in his back, then he is flung forward. Bakugo flung forward and hit a wall roughly. He drops to the ground as he groans in pain. He looks behind him and sees no one, not even Izuku. Bakugo only groans on the ground with a frustrated look. Bakugo curses angrily. Nearby, All Might is peeking from behind a wall. He wants to talk to Izuku, but misses his chance as Bakugo gets to Izuku first, and now Izuku is suddenly gone. Young Midoriya. He thought before he left the area. Hours later, 17:30 p.m., a small garage on the outskirts of town. Izuku is walking towards the abandoned-looking garage with a bag of groceries. He drinks a can of cola as he walks down the desolate road towards the garage. Izuku then stops before he exhales slowly. I know you are following me, All Might. Just show yourself, Izuku said tiredly. All Might then walks out from behind a tree. Since when did you know? He asks. Since I came out of the convenience store. You did a rather poor job of stealthily following someone, Izuku explained. All Might chuckled a little. Well, you know what type of hero I am, he claimed, smiling. I'm sure we all are, Izuku said dryly. Seeing Izuku's not-so-pleasant expression, All Might decided to skip the small talk. I am here to say something to you, young Midoriya. He got serious. About what? About this evening. Izuku asks, a little angry. Flashback. 54p. Izuku is walking through a quiet and empty part of the city. As Izuku walks through a tunnel, something is eyeing on him. A train passes above the tunnel, making the whole tunnel make a rattle noise when something launches towards Izuku. Izuku simply spun to the right, making whatever heading towards him miss and hit the tunnel ceiling instead. Oh, nobody has been able to evade my surprise attack before, the thing, aka slime villain, said as he got down from the tunnel ceiling. Sigh, a villain. Izuku said rather tiredly. You don't seem scared, the slime claimed as he jumped towards Izuku, who easily evaded. The slime launches his tentacles at Izuku only for Izuku to evade easily. Would you still? The slime yells as he tries to catch Izuku, only to fail every single time. Izuku was about to grab his arm device from his duffel bag when suddenly a manhole blasted open to the sky, making both the slime and Izuku stop and look back at the manhole with curiosity and confusion. Fear not, young man, you're safe. Why? Because I am here. All Might said as he came out of the sewer. Oh my god. It's All Might. Izuku said, surprised. Gotcha. The slime launches his tentacle at the distracted Izuku. DMN. Izuku cursed as the tentacle grabbed his arm. Hang on, citizen. Texas. Smash. All Might roared as he punched the air, creating a massive and fast wind pressure. The wind pressure hit and disintegrated the slime villain, making him release Izuku, who slid back due to the wind pressure. As the wind dies down, the slime spatters around the tunnel. Izuku looks around when All Might approaches him. Okay, young man. All Might asks Izuku. You're supposed to save me, not hurt me. Izuku groans as he slowly gets up. Haha. Sorry. All Might laughed. Midoriya, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku introduces himself. Sorry, young Midoriya, but I have to take him down quickly, All Might claims. No matter how dangerous the villain is, you are supposed to proceed with cautious, All Might. Especially if they have a hostage, Izuku said, annoyed as he dusted off his shirt. My apologies, young Midoriya. I was unfortunately short on time, All Might said as he grabbed a soda bottle and started putting the slime villain in it. Don't you have a better way to contain him? Izuku asks. A hero should be creative in any situation. All Might claims. That doesn't look all that secure at all, Izuku commented. Well, thank you, young Midoriya, for stalling the villain long enough for me to arrest him, All Might said gratefully. I just met him like 2 minutes before you arrived. It's not really stalling, Izuku said bashfully. Haha. 2 minutes are still categorized as stalling, young Midoriya. Well, let me take him to the police station. Sorry, but pros are constantly fighting not just villains but also time. All Might said before he prepared himself. Izuku then thought of something and was nervous to say it. But he steals his nerves and decides to ask All Might. Wait, All Might. Izuku grabs All Might's shirt when All Might suddenly jumps up. Izuku surprisingly grabbed All Might's shirt tightly and he was also taken away to the air. Izuku said surprised as he saw the ground getting away and away from him. A second pass as Izuku's brain is busy processing what just happened. Ting. What the hell? Izuku finally screamed in surprise. Surprise, All Might look back and sees Izuku clinging to his back shirt. Hey, let go. I love my fans but this is too much. All Might try to shove Izuku away. Are you kidding me? I'll die from this height. Izuku screams as he clings to All Might with all his dear life. Oh, that's right. All Might stopped as he realized it. Hang on, we're going to land, he said as he prepared to land on top of a building. All Might then landed on the roof of a building with Izuku rolling for a few meters before stopping and lying on the floor. That was crazy. Izuku said, breathing. That is crazy, young Midoriya. What are you thinking? All Might asked rather angrily. Izuku flinched and immediately got up and stood in perfect form before bowing down. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. He bowed down and apologized. It's alright, young Midoriya. Go down the stairs, because I need to go now, All Might said as he prepared to leave again. Wait. Izuku begged. No, I have to go, All Might said as he bent down to jump. Izuku is getting restless as he needs to know something urgently, please. It won't take long. I just really need to ask you something. Izuku begged. All Might then glanced at Izuku. Seeing All Might glancing at him, Izuku decides to ask the one thing that has always lingered in his mind for a very long time. Is it possible to become a hero even if you don't have a quirk? Izuku asked while closing his eyes as he put all his heart into asking it. Without a quirk? All Might asks in surprise as he faces Izuku. Izuku sighs off and looks down. I know it sounds stupid, but is it really that unlikely for a quirkless to be a hero? Everyone told me that I can't be a hero. But I want to hear it from you, All Might, Izuku explained. All Might only stared at Izuku without saying anything. Not hear All Might say anything. Izuku sighed in defeat and despair. I know that is a stupid question, like I said earlier, but please, what do you think about it? Izuku asks as he looks up and sees All Might. All Might stays silent for a while before he starts talking, without a quirk. Why yeah? Izuku said, trembling not in fear, but in denial. This job, pro heroes, is not easy, young Midoriya. Pro heroes are always facing risks in their lives. Some villains can't be beaten without power, All Might said before he kneeled down and touched Izuku's shoulder. So no, I don't think you can be a hero without a quirk, All Might told Izuku regarding his question earlier. Izuku just stood there in silence, without any emotion whatsoever. Seeing Izuku's expression, All Might stands up. If you want to help others, then there are other ways to do it. You can become a police officer. Sure, they are often teased since they just take away the villains after the heroes capture them, but it's a fine profession, he said as he walked away toward the stairs. All Might stops and glances at the crushed Izuku. Having a dream is a good thing. But you need to be realistic, young man. Just make sure whatever your dream is attainable for your own good, All Might said before he walked down the stairs. After All Might is gone, it's just Izuku up there on the roof. He already knows the answer, he already knows the truth. But he chooses to turn a blind eye to it and still hold on to an empty hope. Izuku then walked to the roof edge and saw the ground from the 15-story building. Izuku did consider it suicide, ending all this pain, suffering, insults, everything that has led him to this point. He is barely holding on, and everything is so heavy. So it crossed his mind to just end it all. Until an explosion wakes him up to reality. Izuku sees the smoke from the explosion and steps off the roof edge. Izuku shakes off his suicidal temptation before he walks down the stairs with a very heavy and broken heart. Flashback. And you don't have to say anything, All Might. I am just in denial of my situation, and you wake me up to the reality that I try so hard to ignore, Izuku claims with a broken expression. No, young Midoriya. I was not at my best back then. I am All Might tries to explain, but Izuku cuts him. Don't. Izuku said angrily, don't apologize. I had had enough of those, Izuku said, breathing roughly. Impressed by your courage, young Midoriya, All Might decide to skip the apology. Not many people, like those rookie heroes, have the courage that you have. The courage to dash into the danger and save those who needed to be saved, All Might said proudly. I know true heroes do what they do because it is the right thing to do and not ask for anything in return. But what did I get in return, All Might? No matter what I achieved, it doesn't change the fact that I am quirkless, All Might, Izuku claims. True. What you do is true, that it was reckless. But the courage cannot be ignored. A true hero fights for those who are unable to fight, to save those who need to be saved, and to protect those who are unable to protect themselves. All Might explained, then clenching his fist, you, young Midoriya, are everything I just said and beyond that, he explained. Izuku looks away. Right now, I just don't care anymore, he claims. All Might sees Izuku's duffel bag. That where you keep the support device. For me, it wasn't a support. For me, it is my quirk, Izuku declares seriously. All Might is confused for a while before he realizes, of course. Quirks that we have known for a long time is a supernatural ability we have once we are 4 years old. But the true meaning of a quirk is the uniqueness an individual has, all might smile. Uniqueness. The world is not fair, and not everyone is born equal. I was not gifted with a quirk, Izuku claimed. So you created one for your own, right? All Might smiled. But that still doesn't change anything. A quirkless will always be a quirkless. What happened this afternoon is proof of that, Izuku claims, mentioning the incident from earlier. No matter what quirkless people try or have achieved, they will always be ridiculed by society. No matter how good they are, Izuku added, frustrated. All Might looks at the frustrated Izuku, and he feels something about the boy in front of him. He felt something familiar with the boy. Regarding your question from earlier, let me change my answer, All Might said. Izuku looks at All Might in surprise. No, young man. Don't. Izuku clenched his chest as he closed his eyes. You too. Please. Izuku fell to his knees. Can become. Stop. Izuku has now started crying. He doesn't want to hear it, but he also wants to hear it. A hero, All Might declared as the wind blew All Might's hair with the sun setting behind him, making him seem to be the light of hope that Izuku desperately wanted to hear, but at the same time didn't want to hear. All Might raises his hand in front of Izuku. I deem you worthy of my power. My quirk is yours to inherit, he declared. Izuku stops crying and looks at All Might with a confused face. All Might raises his hand in front of Izuku. I deem you worthy of my power. My quirk is yours to inherit, he declared. Izuku stops crying and looks at All Might with a confused face. You are worthy to inherit my quirk, young Midoriya. You have all the qualities for a true hero. All Might clenched his fist. But instead of getting excited, Izuku is getting mad. He then got up. I ask you whether a quirkless can be a hero, not if I can have your quirk, All Might, he said trembling. Don't worry, I am not going to force this thing on you. This is your choice. Do you want to accept my awesome quirk or not? All Might asks, spreading his arms. Izuku gritted his teeth. You are the same. He mumbles. So what do you say, young man? All Might asks, smiling widely. Are you trying to ridicule me? Izuku asks, trembling. What? All Might said, confused. Is being a quirkless hero really that impossible that you are saying something ridiculous to me? Izuku asked with a clear tone of anger. Wait, I didn't mean. All Might said, confused. Izuku then grabs All Might's shirt angrily and looks at All Might's face with clear anger. Is this your true self, All Might? Is this your dark side? Do you really think I am a joke to you that you ridiculed me with nonsense as inheriting a quirk from you? He asks angrily. I wasn't dash, All Might tries to explain, but Izuku cuts him. I don't want your pity. I don't need your pity. I don't want your quirk. Izuku screamed angrily while crying. All Might sees the broken Izuku in front of him with pity, despite Izuku telling him he doesn't want it. Young Midoriya. Izuku released All Might's shirt and wiped his tears. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Go away. Go home, Izuku said before he walked away. All Might wanted to explain thoroughly, but decided against it, seeing Izuku despise him. Young Midoriya, I've been wondering. What are you doing in this desolate place? All Might asks a different question. That garage up there, that's my home, Izuku replied while still walking. Your home? All Might said, surprised before he followed Izuku. Why did you live there? He has a concern. None of your business, Izuku coldly replies. Where are your parents? All Might asks. Izuku stops and glances back. 410 Senbon Matsubara Dori. He answers before opening the garage door. Then why did you live here and not with your parents? All Might asks, confused. You are more ignorant than I thought. Get out of here. Izuku closed the door on All Might's face. All Might was confused, but he felt something hurt in his stomach and clenched it. All Might then decided to walk away from the garage. Inside the garage, Izuku slumps down on the ground. He took the devices inside the garage that he had created before he started crying. Days later, 34 them. A skinny skeleton-like man is walking on the street next to the infamous trash-filled beach of 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐴 Municipal Beach Park. The man then remembered the conversation with a friend last night. Flashback. Have you checked the address I gave you, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫? The skeleton man asks through his phone. I did, but I don't know why you have an address to a cemetery, All Might, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 said. The skeleton man, revealed to be All Might, suddenly froze in shock. What did you say, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨? All Might asks in surprise. The address that you gave me is an address for a cemetery, All Might. Wait, you didn't know? 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 asks. No. What can you tell me about Izuku Midoriya? All Might asks after he recovers from his shock. Please wait a minute, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 said as he input the name into the computer and searched for any info. A cemetery. Did he live in that garage after his parents died? All Might though when 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 speaks. Is Izuku Midoriya someone you knew, All Might? 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 asks. He is, I want to know more about him, All Might replied. Do you not know that he is buried at the cemetery? Is that why you asked me to look it up? 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 asks. Buried? No, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨. I want to know where he lives and what he's been doing recently. All Might explain. All Might, Izuku Midoriya died 8 years ago. 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 revealed the info. What? All Might said shocked. Izuku Midoriya died 8 years ago, along with his family, when their apartment blew up in a gas explosion. They die alongside 33 more people, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 explains. All Might is so shocked that he is silent for a minute, trying to process the information that was given. All Might, did you meet someone claiming to be Izuku Midoriya? 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 asks. What can you tell me about him? All Might was finally able to speak again. All Might. 𝐬𝐭𝐡𝐨 said. Please. All Might begs. 𝐬𝐭𝐡𝐨 sighs off before he decides to do what All Might asks him to. Izuku Midoriya, born June 15th, quirkless. Son of 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 and 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐫 Midoriya. Famous scientists from 15 years ago, he informs. Famous scientists. Famous for what research? All Might asks. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 and 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐫 Midoriya are famous for their revolutionary energy generator, called GN drive or solar reactor. According to them, the reactor harnesses the byproducts of baryonic decay as an energy source, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 explains. Bar what? All Might asks, confused. I don't really understand either. But it is basically a very powerful solar reactor able to produce a large amount of energy for a theoretically infinite amount of time, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 explains. Infinite. That could revolutionize the world. Why have I never heard of them and their creation? All Might asks, confused. Because by the time of their death, it is still just a theory that the Midoriyas had been working to materialize. But their death stops the progress, 𝐬𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 explains. Why haven't others tried to create it? All Might asks. The Midoriyas is the only one who understood the theory and physics of the project. The apartment explosion destroys every and all research papers and data. In the end, their theory is just a theory, 𝐬𝐭𝐡𝐨 explains. Flashback and, if Izuku Midoriya already died 8 years ago, then who is the boy that I met several days ago? He said his name is Izuku Midoriya, and I didn't suspect a thing, All Might said as he walked alongside the trash-filled beach. 𝐬𝐭𝐡𝐨 said that Izuku Midoriya died at the age of and 8 years later, he would be 14 years old. The young man does match the age, and he clearly matches an older version of the deceased kid. So why did he hide away? All Might wonders when he hears a noise from the beach. All Might look to the beach and hear the noise of objects being destroyed. He then hears a familiar sound, the sound of a gunshot, but unlike any other gunshot. The exact sound that Izuku's arm device created when he shot the slime villain several days ago. That sound, could it be? All Might wonders, then he walked down to the trash-filled beach and searched where the sounds came from. As All Might walks through the trash-filled beach, the sounds are only getting louder and louder. As All Might walks past a mountain of trash, several pieces of scrap fall in front of him. All Might stop and see that the scrap has been cut into pieces. All Might moves around the trash mountain and sees something incredible. All Might saw a sight that he had never seen before. he saw a person-like shape floating in the air with greenish-white light particles emitting from the cone-like structure on the person's back. All Might is flabbergasted by the majestic sight. Knowing that the person might be Izuku, All Might suddenly bulges up into his muscle form. The person turns towards All Might, and it is Izuku Midoriya. Izuku spotted All Might. He grimaced but then sighed before descending and landing in front of All Might. "I don't know that you have spare time to visit such a place," Izuku said sarcastically. "I was just walking by when I saw some particle in the air. I decided to check it and I found you, young Midoriya," All Might explains. Either he doesn't notice my skeleton form, or he ignores it, All Might thought. Izuku only stared at All Might before looking away. "I'm busy here, and I'm sure you are as well," he said before walking away. "I'm sorry about your parents," All Might condolence. Izuku stopped and glanced back. "So you decide to check on me?" he said. "I'm sorry, I just wanted to know you more," All Might said. "𝐴𝐵𝐴 Cemetery. They're where my parents are buried," Izuku said, "and technically, where 𝐾𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 was also buried." He added, "But why did you decide to hide away?" All Might asks. "To protect myself," Izuku replied as he checked his arm device. "From who? Your family doesn't have any enemies." All Might said, confused. "The society is the enemy, All Might," Izuku claims. All Might looks at Izuku in confusion. "What?" "Think about it, All Might. If you are quirkless, you are ridiculed. If you are an orphan, you are ridiculed," Izuku explained before looking at All Might. "I am both," Izuku claimed. All Might only stand there while swallowing his saliva. Young Midoriya has a very good point. Society is not all rainbow and sunshine. It could be very dark, cold, and unforgiving. I thought I heard everything and experienced everything. But 3 days ago you proved me wrong." Izuku looked away. "I'm sorry about that night. I didn't consider your feelings." All Might apologized. "I'm sorry as well. After hearing your ridiculous offer I snapped." Izuku apologized as well. "I forgive you," he faced All Might. All Might smile before he looks at Izuku's exosuit. "I know the device on your arm, but what about the one on your back? It glows brightly and produces some sort of shiny particles in the air," All Might ask. "If you search about my life, then I'm sure you know what my parents are doing," Izuku claims. All Might looks at Izuku in surprise. "Is that the GN drive that your parents have been working on?" he asked, surprise. "It's the one," Izuku confirms. "But I thought it was just a theory. I thought your parents died before they could create a working example," All Might said, surprised and confused. "They were until I created it," Izuku claims. "You did?" All Might asks in surprise again. "After years of research, development, trial, and error, the GN drive is finally a reality. And I am testing it right now," Izuku explains. "How did you create it? I don't really understand the physics, but the materials. Where do you get those?" All Might asks curiously. "With the stuff around us," Izuku said nonchalantly. All Might look around and see nothing but trash. "Wait. You created that with?" he said, surprised. "With all this trash here for the past 8 years, Izuku said, somewhat proudly. "I can't believe it," All Might said, stunned. "You able to build that on a beach? With a bunch of trash," he said, astonished. "I am quirkless, All Might." "Not ret dead," Izuku claimed emotionlessly. All Might frowns when he hears that and faces Izuku. "Young Midoriya, I know you have been ridiculed all your life, and I understand that you think badly of anyone. But not everything that people, or at least what I said to you, is an insult," All Might explains seriously. Izuku just glanced at All Might. "I am serious when I said I wanted to know you more, young Midoriya. And trust is the most important thing to start a relationship." All Might claims. "How am I supposed to trust you? As a person, not as a pro hero?" Izuku asks. "By sharing secrets." All Might exclaims. "You already share your secrets, your dead parents, your quirklessness, the GN drive. You already shared them with me." "No." All Might said before his body began to release some steam. "I'll share you mine," he said before steam engulfed All Might's entire body. Izuku is confused by the sudden steam engulfing All Might. "All Might. Are you okay? What happened?" Izuku asked worried. It is all right, young Midoriya, All Might assured from behind the steam cloud. Wind started blowing the steam away and the once tall, muscular, charismatic pro-hero is now replaced by a skeleton-like man. This is my secret, young Midoriya, the skeleton man claims. WWWHWA. What? Izuku gaped as he saw a skeleton-like man wearing the clothes All Might was wearing. I know this is hard to look at or understand, but I am All Might, young man, All Might claims. How? Did you just deflate? Izuku said in total confusion. Ha, you should have looked at your face. All Might laughed. What? What the F? Izuku screamed. That is a very understandable reaction, All Might said, lifting his right index finger. But you just deflated in front of me. Izuku yells. Ah, don't sweat the small stuff, All Might laughs. Izuku sighed and held his face. This is big stuff, All Might, he thought, annoyed. There is more than just deflating in my secret, young man. Do you want to hear the full story? All Might asks. Izuku looks at All Might before looking around and sees nothing but trash around them. Go on. What is your story? Izuku let All Might explain. Very well. There are a couple of things you should know about my quirk. Journalists always guess my quirk as superhuman strength or some form of invulnerability. When people ask me in interviews, I always joke and dodge the question. But because the world needs to believe that their symbol of peace is a natural-born hero. But I'm not. There's nothing natural about my ability, it was passed on like a sacred torch to me from someone else, All Might explains. So what are you saying is that your quirk can be given to someone else, and you receive it from someone? Izuku processes the information. Exactly. All Might confirms. How? I thought quirk transplant is impossible to do. Izuku asks. Technically speaking, it wasn't a transplant. It's more of a transfer of power from one subject to another. Anyway, that is the truth and reality, I can transfer my quirk to someone else. The name of the quirk, One for All Might explain. One for all. Izuku repeated. Yes, one person inherits this quirk, and then it continuously grows as it is passed down to another person. It's the power that makes me a hero, that allows me to save people, this is the truth behind my strength, All Might explains. And several days ago, you wanted me to become the next inheritor of this quirk. Izuku asks. Precisely. But you think of it as I ridiculed you for fun, I am not, All Might claims. Still, I can't accept your quirk, All Might, Izuku declined. May I know why, my boy? All Might asks. This GN drive, this is the last thing I have of my parents. This is their legacy, I will fight within for them, Izuku declares. All Might nodded, I understood. I will respect your decision, young Midoriya, he said. Good, now I'm trying to test it. Please move away, Izuku said as he activated the GN drive. Let me help you, young Midoriya, All Might said. Help with what? Izuku asks as he faces away from All Might. Help you train. You wanted to go to the UA, right? I'm an alumnus of you. I can help you, All Might said. You don't have to, Izuku said, not looking at All Might. I don't have to. But I wanted to, All Might claim. Take this as my redemption for being ridiculed on your dream of being a quirkless hero, he said. Izuku faces All Might and sees his determined face. Izuku sighs out, sigh, fine. Let's see what the number one hero has to offer, he said. Excellent. All Might smile, with that cleared out. I have something for you, All Might said as he grabbed something from his back pocket. Izuku looked at All Might, confused. In case you accepted my offer, I have created. Aim to pass, American Dream Plan. All Might suddenly grabs a book and shows it to Izuku flamboyantly. Right. Izuku grabbed the book and opened it. With this, if you follow it to the letter, you will have the perfect body to receive my quirk. Now I know you decline, but having a very healthy and strong body is really important. Especially if you wanted to be a quirkless hero, young Midoriya. All Might explain. Wow, I guess you really have to think it thoroughly. There's even a sleeping schedule. Izuku read the book of the plan. A balanced diet and effective muscle training are good. But if not accompanied by a good sleep, then they will be wasted. All Might exclaims. Wait, by the end of this plan, it's said that the beach will be clean. Do you want me to clean this entire beach? Izuku asks, surprised. Yes. You will restore the coastline for this entire section of the beach. That is the first step on your path to being a hero. All Might exclaims while spreading his arms, showing the mountain of trash around them. Izuku just stared at All Might in disbelief. Did the city ask you to do this? Yes. All Might then faced Izuku with his hands on his hips. Now are you ready to start your road to becoming a hero? Yes. Sigh. No pain, no gain, I guess. Fine, let's do this. Izuku accepted the plan. Haha. All Might laughs before he buffs up and side hugs Izuku. Let's shoot to the moon, young Midoriya. Izuku, despite being a little uncomfortable, yes sir, he complies. Hush. Using different muscle groups depending on the size and shape of the trash. I guess all those muscles are not just from the quirk, All Might. Izuku thought as he carried 2 large tires on his shoulder and ran up the stairs. Let's go. Let's go. The clock is ticking and 10 months will be over before you know it. All Might yelled, move those buttes. It's time to go beyond. He encourages. Thought, his encouragement can be annoying sometimes, Izuku thought. Inside Izuku's garage, Izuku is using a soldering iron to fix parts of his armor. After finishing soldering up some circuits, Izuku looks at his computer screen. Izuku saw the schematic of the completed armor, a half-light gray, half-mild gray-colored armor that looked quite bland. Not gonna lie, it looked cool. Thought a little bland, Izuku said before he stretched his body and moved away from his computer. Izuku then sees a wallpaper of the Japanese Air Force aerobatic team, Blue Impulse's T4 on his laptop screen, which is also playing music. I wonder. Izuku mumbles before he moves back to his computer and does something about the armor design. After a few minutes, Izuku is finished with the design and looks satisfied as he has created a masterpiece of a design. Back at the beach, Izuku is struggling to drag a massive fridge from the waterline to the stairs. Later, Izuku is swimming in the ocean with All Might watching him. A few seconds later, several fangirls suddenly surround All Might and he poses for them. Izuku is wearing parts of his armor. He is running across the beach before he parkours some obstacle, then activates the GN drive and flies to the sky before he deploys his sword from his arm device and slices several dummies. At the garage, Izuku is looking at a recipe book while he is cooking the diet food on the plan. Izuku took a small sample of the dish and tasted it. Not salty enough, he thought before adding some salt to the dish. On the beach, Izuku lifts 3 broken ovens into All Might's truck. Izuku sighed while All Might smiled and gave a thumbs up. In the afternoon, as the sun is setting, Izuku is carrying All Might in a piggyback ride. All Might points out where Izuku must go next, while Izuku only mildly grumbles being forced to piggyback a lump of muscles around. Montage end. February 25, 2017. 54 p.m. All Might parked his truck before he exited it and began walking to the beach. All Might then sees 5 garbage flying into the air. The garbage is flying in the air, when 3 beams shoot 3 garbage, exploding them. Then Izuku jumps up and slices the remaining 2. Izuku maneuvered in the air before he landed in front of All Might, superhero style. All Might smiles. Young Midoriya. He then walks closer to Izuku and sees the beach. The beach is no longer the trash-filled beach that it was. The beach is now a appealing beach that you can find anywhere else. Oh my goodness. All Might buff up. Now this is what I call a beach, Izuku claims as he joins All Might. You and me both, young Midoriya. You exceed any expectation, All Might claims proudly. Izuku smiles as well. What about my identity? Don't worry. I asked my friend in the police force, and with the DNA sample that you give them, he will confirm your identity. All Might explained before he grabbed a card from his pocket. Izuku Midoriya is officially alive again, he said as he gave Izuku his ID card. Welcome back to the land of the living. Izuku accepted the card. I guess you can say that to yourself. All Might laughed. But do you have any idea how much in trouble you were for using a fake ID, young Midoriya? I had to do what I had to do to survive, Izuku replied before looking at All Might. I appreciate it, All Might. For everything, Izuku said gratefully. You are strong, young Midoriya. You are capable, smart, resourceful, and resilient. Don't let others tell you otherwise, All Might claims. Not planning to, Izuku declared. But now, All Might puffed back to his skeleton form. Let's load up the last trash and have a good night's sleep before the big day tomorrow, All Might said. Yes, sir, Izuku complied. Izuku carries the last of the garbage and then drops it into the truck. He then dusts off before looking at the night beach. Tomorrow. He clenches his fists. Tomorrow is D-Day. Izuku steeled his heart, for tomorrow was the day he would prove himself. February 26, 2220. High school, 8 a.m. Izuku is now standing in front of the entrance exam and sees the U building. This is where my dream came true, Izuku said, smiling. What the? A loud voice yells behind Izuku. He looks back and sees Bakugo behind him. Bakugo, Izuku flatly greeted. What are you doing here, Dek? Izuku. Bakugo asks. What do you think? To take the hero course exam, Izuku replied. Are you crazy? Do you want to get yourself killed? Bakugo yelled angrily. I died once, I don't mind dying again, Izuku calmly replies. What the? Bakugo said stunned, and where the hell have you been? I've been looking for you. Bakugo yells. And why do you want to know where I lived? So you can bully me again. So you can say mean things to me again. So you can show me your demps over me again. Izuku asks, getting angry. Bakugo can only stand there, gritting his teeth angrily. He then grabs Izuku's shirt. What are you trying to prove? You do this, you'll die, he claimed. So can you? Izuku said coldly, surprising Bakugo. Just because you have a quirk, doesn't mean the risk is lower on you. In fact, knowing you, you are more likely to face danger head-on, he claimed. Bakugo is taken by surprise and then puts his head down, knowing Izuku is right. He gritted his teeth before releasing Izuku and taking a step back. Bakugo then glared at Izuku angrily. Just don't stand in my way, he said before he walked past Izuku, intentionally shoulder-bumping Izuku as he passed. Izuku stares at Bakugo as he walks away. I think it's the other way around, Kaken. He mumbles annoyed. Sigh. This has begun with a great. Izuku sighed before he takes a step and he trips over an uneven tile. CRP. He said flatly as he falls to the ground. Izuku extends his arms to do a front flip, but to his surprise, he is floating. What? Izuku said, confused as to why he floated. He didn't have his GN drive equipped. Are you okay? A girl's voice asks. Izuku looked to where the voice came from and saw a brown-haired girl standing beside him. I'm sorry I didn't ask first, but you're about to fall, and I instinctively use my quirk to stop you. But I figured you wouldn't mind me catching you, the girl said as she helped Izuku to stand up properly. Isn't this all way nerve-wracking? The girl asks, smiling. Izuku blanked out for a second before he came back to his senses after the girl put his feet on the ground. Oh, yeah. I guess I was nervous, Izuku replied nervously. Why? I'm talking with a girl. Izuku's inner voice screams. Well, guess I'll see you inside, bye. The girl waved before walking away. Later. Izuku bashfully waves as well. What a nice girl. When was the last time I talked to a girl my age? Izuku wondered as he watched the nice girl walking away. Izuku then shook his head. No. Don't get it over your head. She is doing what a hero would do, to help others. He said to himself. Izuku checked his watch and saw the written exam about to start. Oh, I'd better hurry. Izuku then runs to the campus. 15. After a 1-hour written exam, the examinee gathers inside an auditorium for an orientation for the practical exam. At this stage, Pro Hero Present Mike began the orientation. For all you examinee listeners tuning in, welcome to my show today. Everybody says, yeah. Present Mike shouted, but no one shouted back. Wow, tough crowd. Then I'll quickly present to you the rundown on the practical exam. Present Mike yelled and the screen began to show the rundown. As it says in the application requirements, you listeners will be conducting 10-minute mock urban battles after this. You can bring whatever you want with you. After the presentation, you'll head to the specified battle center. Present Mike explains the exam. So they wanted us to work alone without any help from a friend. Izuku analyzes as he sees some of the examinees complaining that they are not in the same area. I see, they are splitting us up so we can't work together with any of our friends from the same school, Bakugo analyzes. 3 different types of foe villains are stationed in each battle center. You earn points for each of them based on their level of difficulty. Your goal, dear listeners, is to use your quirks to earn points by immobilizing the foe villains. Present Mike explains that the screen shows 3 shades of villains with points 1, 2, and 3 above them. Of course, attacking other examinees and any other unheroic actions are prohibited. Present Mike reminded the examinees. As Present Mike was about to continue, he was cut by someone. May I ask a question? A tall, glasses-wearing teenager asks as he stands up. Okay. Present Mike allowed the teenager to ask. On the printout, there are 4 types of villains. If that is a misprint, then UA, the most prominent school in Japan, should be ashamed of that foolish mistake, the glass teenager claims. So uptight, Izuku mumbled, and you, with the green curly hair. The glassed guy pointed at Izuku. If you are uninterested in this test, then you can get out. He yells. Izuku looks at the glassed guy with a confused expression, uninterested. Izuku said, confused but decided not to make any remarks. Why are you not replying? I'm talking to you, the glasses guy said seriously. What do you want me to say? That I'm too ret dead for the test? Izuku asks angrily, making the whole auditorium laugh. Examinee number 7111. Thanks for the great message. The 4th type of villain is worth 0 points. That guy's an obstacle, so to speak. Present Mike explains as the screen zooms in on the 0-point villain. There's one in every battle center, an obstacle that will go crazy in narrow spaces. It's not impossible to defeat, but there's no reason to defeat it either, Present Mike explains. I recommend that you listeners try to avoid it. Present Mike told the examinee. Thank you very much. Please continue, the glasses guy said before bowing and then sitting down. Oh, I get it. So they're kinda like traps you have to get by in games, an examinee claims. The whole thing's kinda like a video game, huh? An examinee pointed out. That's all from me. Finally, I'll give you listeners a present. Our school motto. The hero Napoleon Bonaparte once said, a true hero is someone who overcomes life's misfortunes, go beyond. Present Mike yell. Plus ultra. The examinees yell together. Test area. Izuku is wearing normal jerseys and sweatpants, just like most of the examinees. But he also equips part of his exosuit, chest armor, backpack 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 drive, right forearm armor, and the right arm device. Izuku checks his armor. Armors are operational, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 drive is operational, 𝐀𝐮_sword is operational. I'm good to go, he said. He then spotted the nice girl from earlier and decided to talk to her when someone stopped him by putting his hand in front of Izuku's face. Hold it right there. The hand belonging to the tall glasses guy from earlier stops Izuku. That girl is trying to focus. What are you trying to do here? Are you here just to interfere with us and ruin our chances of success? The glasses guy scolded Izuku. What are you talking about? Izuku asks, confused. And what with all these support devices? Are you trying to cheat? You should be ashamed, the glassed guy claimed in disgust. I have permission to use a support device from the faculty, and so does anyone who submitted a request for one. I am not cheating, Izuku explained. The nice girl notices the commotion and decides to get closer to find out what happened. The glassed guy crosses his arms, right? But most of us wear only one support device, not a full-body support device, he claims rather smugly. Izuku sighed. They are all the same, he thought angrily before walking away from the glass guy, making the glass guy yell at Izuku about responsibilities and stop cheating. Izuku rolled his eyes, choosing to ignore the glassed guy when he saw the door to the city opening. Izuku prepared himself for combat. As the doors open enough for a person to pass through, Izuku engages the GN drive on his backpack. The flywheel part began to spin as the GN drive glowed bright green and shiny particles began to appear around Izuku. The other contestants are surprised by shiny particles in the air. What is this? The glassed guy was confused about the shiny particles. Appealing. The nice girl said in awe of the particles around her. Izuku floats in the air before he flies into the doors and inside the city, surprising the other examinee. Inside the city, 5 faux villains appear in front of Izuku. Target located. Proceeding to eliminate, one of the faux villains said as they moved to Izuku. Engaging, Izuku said as he deployed the GN sword. Izuku then sliced the first faux villain before landing. A second faux villain is about to attack from behind, but Izuku spins around and slices the second faux villain. Izuku ducked down from the third faux villain's attack and punched it, making it crash into the fourth and fifth faux villains. Izuku retracted the sword and then deployed his beam rifle before firing 3 burst shots and destroying all 3 remaining faux villains. Back at the gates, the other examinees are confused. What is he doing? The exam hasn't begged dash, the glasses guy yelled in anger and confusion, but was cut by present mic. What are you listeners doing? There is no countdown in a real battle. That listener has the right idea. He already has 15 points. 17. 20. Move it. Present mic yells, making the rest of the examinees run inside the city. Meanwhile, Izuku is spinning in the air before he falls down and vertically slices a 2-pointer. Izuku then jumps towards some faux villains approaching him. Izuku kicks a 1-pointer before he jumps towards a 3-pointer. The 3-pointer tries to right punch, but Izuku slices its right arm. The 3-pointer then tries a left punch, but Izuku ducks down and spins before he slices the 3-pointer. This marks the 20th faux villain Izuku destroyed. He then flies past the street before he jumps to the left, avoiding a 3-pointer's attack. Target located. Pro dash. The 3-pointer doesn't finish as Izuku slices the 3-pointer head with his sword. Izuku about to move to his side, when he spotted multiple villains are floating high before they fell down and destroyed by the impact. Good, that should be at least 28 points, the nice girl said happily as she was the one who floated the faux villains. The nice girl, Izuku thought happily, then he saw the glassed guy who had an engine on his legs kick a villain. That should give me 45 points, the glass guy said. Wow, he's good as well, Izuku thought, surprised. In the monitor room, an animal of an unknown species and other teachers are watching the examinees' efforts through the camera screen. Clearly the examinees have no idea how many villains are present or their locations. They have limited time to cover a vast area and hunt down every last target, the animal or the principal of 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said, looking at the screen. Some use information gathering ability to plan out a strategy, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said as the screen showed a 6-handed examinee on top of a building. While some use speed to pull ahead of their peers, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 continues as the screen shows the glassed guy sprinting. Of course, remaining calm under pressure can be a huge advantage. The screen shows an examinee with a strange-looking belt firing a laser. As can pure power and combat ability, the screen shows Bakugo destroying multiple villains with ease. The most successful students use a combination of all these tactics. They're the ones who rack up the highest scores, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 finished. I'd say this year's group looks promising, a female teacher known as Midnight claimed. Especially in City B with his explosion quirk and at City A with his robot-like quirk, a cowboy-looking hero known as 𝐶𝐻𝐿 said. Are those red lights from his arms some sort of laser? A female hero wearing an astronaut suit, 13, asks about Izuku's device. Looks like so, and a very destructive one that is. It manages to destroy the faux villains with a single shot, and the sword is pretty sharp as well, 𝐶𝐻𝐿 said. Your sword skills are remarkable as always, young Midoriya. Keep up the good work, All Might thought proudly. But, is that his quirk, or is he wearing a support device? Midnight's support device. His bio shows that he is quirkless, a teacher claims. Quirkless. All the teachers, besides a few, yell in surprise. Well, they does open its door for quirkless to enroll, including the hero course as well, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said. But no quirkless has ever made it to the hero course before, a teacher claims. There is a first in everything, All Might claims, gaining the attention of others. That young Midoriya mightn't have a quirk, but a quirk in a traditional sense is a uniqueness that an individual has. So he does have a quirk, he claims. True, that is the definition of a quirk before the whole quirks thing, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said. His sword skill, his shooting skill, his parkour skill. Those are his quirks, and he fought really well, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 claimed. If you are still here, you will be very proud, don't you, 𝐻𝐼𝐶? Your son has succeeded in creating it. Your dreams 𝐂𝐮𝐴 thought, smiling. Judging by his score alone, he already passed the test. So who knows, he might be the first quirkless to enter the hero course, a teacher claims. And become the first quirkless hero, All Might added proudly. 𝐂𝐮𝐴 smiled. Then we will write history, he said as he pushed a big red button. In the city, everything is shaking violently and there's a large dust cloud from the center of the city gaining the attention of the examinees. They all looked up and saw a gigantic robot taller than most buildings. They're moving towards their location, smashing everything in its path. Soon, everyone starts running away in panic and horror as the zero-pointer moves toward them. Unfortunately, the nice girl who helped Izuku earlier is stuck under some rubble and in the path of the zero-pointer. The nice girl looks at the zero-pointer in horror and almost gives up when she hears something. Get up. The nice girl suddenly hears someone yelling. She opens her eyes and sees Izuku flying towards her at high speed. You. The nice girl recognizes Izuku. Izuku is flying toward the nice girl before he suddenly pulls up and flies towards the zero-pointer hand. Ha-eh-iya. Izuku cried as he sliced the zero-pointer's fingers, making the O-pointer stop its hand. Izuku then landed in front of the nice girl before retracting the sword and aiming the 𝐂𝐮 sword at the zero-pointer head. Eat this, Izuku simply said before he pulled the trigger and shot several beam shots at the zero-pointer head. The beam exploded the zero-pointer's armor and it began to back away. All the other examinees are watching in shock and awe at the zero-pointer being pushed away by Izuku's attacks. The nice girl looks in awe of Izuku's attacks before she wakes up from her daydream and touches the large rubble pinning her down. The rubble is affected by the girl's quirk and begins to float slightly. Ugh! The nice girl groaned, but she managed to slip out her trapped leg and free herself from the rubble, just in time, as the rubble suddenly dropped and the girl felt something painful inside her and began to cough loudly. Izuku stops shooting when he hears the nice girl coughing. He then approaches the nice girl. Hey, are okay? Did you have any injuries? Why did you cough? Is anything wrong? Izuku asks the girl multiple questions in a panic. It's just backlash. From my quirk. The nice girl stops coughing and replies while breathing. Izuku is genuinely confused about what to do. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? I never treated others before. And I never have a conversation with a girl my age. Izuku thought in panic. Suddenly, the two of them hear a loud screeching sound of metal and machine. They both look back and up to see the zero-pointer moving towards them and try to grab it with its left hand. We need to get out of here. Izuku yells. Okay. The nice girl tries to get up, only to fall down again. Are you okay? Izuku asks, surprised as he kneels down. My ankle. The nice girl whines. Izuku saw the girl's ankle and it was swollen. It's swollen. You better not move, he said worriedly. I don't think that is wise. Behind you. The nice girl yells while pointing behind Izuku. Izuku looked back and saw the zero-pointer's left arm getting closer to them. Please carry me away. I can't walk or run. The nice girl yells. Izuku is in a panic as he has never touched a girl his age before. Please. You're the only hope I have left. The nice girl began to cry. Seeing the nice girl crying, Izuku gritted his teeth, lifted the girl up in his arms on a princess carry, then activated his Jin drive and flew away. Just in time when the zero-pointer's hand slams the ground with a loud bang. The two of them then fly away from the zero-pointer towards the entrance door. I'm really sorry for this. Izuku apologized to the girl in his arms. No. The girl shakes her head. You saved me, she smiles sweetly. Izuku blushed madly, then immediately landed on the ground and put the girl down to sit on a rubble. I'm sorry to touch you without permission. Izuku bowed down. I'm just never really talked to a girl my age. And you are cute and pretty and… Izuku began to ramble until he realized what he just said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I just… Izuku began to panic. The nice girl only giggles, seeing Izuku panicking. Unbeknownst to the two of them, a three-pointer is eyeing Izuku from an alley beside them. Just then, the three-pointer jumps toward Izuku. The nice girl spotted the three-pointer jumping towards Izuku. Watch out! The nice girl warns. Izuku regains his composure and swiftly spins to the left before he deploys his sword and jumps past the three-pointer. The three-pointer just landed and looked back, only to be sliced in half by Izuku. Izuku then retracted the sword before aiming to his side and firing 3 beam shots at an alleyway, destroying 3 foe villains. Wow! The nice girl looks with gleaming eyes of Izuku as he exhales a cold, misty breath. Wow! Young Midoriya. Just wow, All Might said, impressed as the teachers watched him from the monitor room. He has a good ability, and with the right guidance, he will be a great hero, Nizu claimed, smiling. I guess we are writing history, Midnight smiled. After destroying the foe villains, a buzzer can be heard. And time's up. Present mic announces to all exam fields. Hearing the announcement, Izuku takes a deep breath before he puts down his arm and relaxes. He then breathed out in satisfaction. He is completely flustered, awkward, and looks like a nerd when he talks to that girl. But he became super serious and skillful when he destroyed those foe villains. An examinee claims. Maybe he is embarrassed around girls. An examinee said. That type of guy, huh? An examinee said. But he is really skillful with that sword support device. An examinee claims. What do you think his quirk is? An examinee asks. I don't know, maybe it is a weak one. Maybe that is why he uses those advanced support devices, an examiner replied. Regardless, he has skill. Mad skill, an examinee claims. Yeah, I guess he's no joke, an examinee replied. They all are missing the point. Did they not see what he just did? His weapons are capable of damaging the 0-pointer, but he doesn't do that to show off. He does that to save that girl. The glasses guy thought, looking at Izuku with respect. Wonderful work. You're all heroes in my eyes, every one of you. Here, have some candy, an old lady with a nurse outfit said as she gave the examinees gummy candies. You okay, dear? Is anything hurt? The old lady asks the nice girl. Yeah, my ankle is sprained, the nice girl replied bashfully. Okay, hold still, the old lady said, then she kissed her, making the sprained leg go back to normal. Wow. It heals. But why I do feel tired. The nice girl said tiredly. Are you okay? Izuku asked worriedly. Before the old lady can reply, an examinee with a strange belt explains, you're watching the school nurse in action. The youthful heroine, Recovery Girl, he said, and Recovery Girl bowed slightly. Her quirk is a tremendous boost of healing power. She's saving her months of recovery time. She's the only reason the U can hold these reckless exams, the examinee explains. Thank you, Sonny. And the reason you are tired is because my healing quirk speeds up a person's natural recovery from injury, and that requires a large amount of stamina, Recovery Girl explains. So she is tired out because you rerouted all her stamina into healing. Izuku asks. Yes, you're right, Sonny, Recovery Girl replied. I appreciate it, but now I'm sleepy, the nice girl said before yawning. I guess that makes 2 of us, Izuku said before he sat down. The nice girl laughed, making Izuku laugh as well. Anyone else injured? Recovery Girl asks the other examinee. I wonder. What if the exam has other parameters I didn't take into account? It's possible, the glassed gut wonders as he watches Izuku getting flustered talking to the nice girl. A week later, Izuku is fine-tuning his armor when he hears a knocking on his garage door. Izuku then goes to the door and opens it, and he sees a mailman waiting outside. Wow, I never thought someone might live in here. Especially someone as young as you, the mailman said, surprised. Well, I have my own circumstances, Izuku replied. You didn't run away, didn't you? The mailman asks. No, I didn't run away. My grandfather has had this garage for a long time. I just decided to live here. It's quiet, Izuku explained. Okay, if you say so, the mailman said, then he gave Izuku an envelope. Have a nice day. You too, Izuku replied before getting back in the garage. Izuku goes to his work table and puts down the envelope. Izuku then opens the envelope and a hologram device is inside it. He grabs the device and sets it up. I'm here. As a projection. All Might exclaimed. All Might. Izuku said, confused and surprised. You might be wondering, what am I, All Might, doing in 𝐬𝐿? All Might exclaimed. I'm pretty sure you're searching for a successor there, right? Izuku said. Well, you are looking at the newest 𝐬𝐿 faculty member. All Might exclaim. What? Wait, you became a teacher? Well, that's news to my ear, Izuku said, surprised. And after the time we spent together, you didn't tell me. He jokingly yells, feeling betrayed. Yes, what's the matter? Who's showboating? Oh, sorry, I'll wrap it up. Wait, I have to do how many of these things? All Might ask, unaware that he is still recording. Well, if there is one thing I know for certain that the public don't, is that All Might can be quite bashful at times, Izuku said, sweat dropping. Right. So, moving on. All Might cleared his throat. You passed the written exam with flying colors, young Midoriya. You gained full marks, impressive. All Might exclaimed, making Izuku smile. And for the practical exam, you also passed with flying colors, gaining 120 points. All Might exclaimed, but Izuku was confused. 120, I'm pretty sure I only have 60, not extra points. But from where? Izuku said, confused, but All Might continued. You might be wondering why you have 120 points. But first, let's see this clip. All Might pressed a button. A clip of Izuku slicing the 𝐬𝐿 pointer's finger and him carrying the nice girl away from the 𝐬𝐿 pointer is shown to Izuku. As you see, your action saved others. And that's why I am here. You see, the practical exam was not graded based on combat alone. All Might exclaimed. So they give points for saving someone. A rescue point, Izuku realizes. How could the hero course reject someone who was committed to saving others, no matter the consequences to himself? After all, that's what makes a hero, All Might said. Then the screen shows the scores of the examinees. So we have rescue points. A panel of judges watches, and they award heroic acts for beyond just fighting villains. All Might exclaims. Then Izuku's score is shown. Izuku Midoriya, 60 villain points. 60 rescue points. With a combined total of 120 points. You earn the first spot in the practical exam and the written exam. Congratulations, young Midoriya. All Might exclaimed with pride. Welcome, young Midoriya, to your hero academia. All Might finished, then the hologram died out. Izuku smirked. Oh yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm in, baby. Izuku yelled excitedly. He then looks at a picture of his parents. He smiles as he is sure they would be proud. He has done it, and he succeeds in enrolling to you. Teacher monitor room, check out the result for the exam, a teacher said as they looked at the screen that displayed the top 10 examinees who passed. Wow, the second place examinee didn't even have a single rescue point, Midnight said. He took down those faux villains like an ace. When most of the other examinees were running from the big obstacle, he stayed focused on letting the smaller targets get in close and then counterattacking. That kid's tough, 𝐶𝐿𝐿 explains and praises. Meanwhile, the one with the highest rescue points has a tie with his villain points, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said. Perfectly balanced, a teacher claims. Although he is quirkless, he has enough other skills to make up for it, Midnight claims. His support devices do help him a lot, but without a skilled user, the support device will be useless. So he is qualified to fight. 𝐶𝐿𝐿 acknowledges Izuku's skill. Behind the teachers, a hobo-looking man wearing a black outfit and a white scarf is leaning against a wall, watching the result quietly. April 1, 2220 High School. Izuku is walking inside you? Looking for his class. Where is it? Izuku said to himself as he looked around the halls, and then he found his classroom. Oh, this is one big door, Izuku said, looking at the gigantic door with the word 1A painted on it. The most promising students in the country are waiting behind this door, Izuku said, looking at the door. Just hope Bakugo and the glass guy are not here, Izuku said before he opened the door and got inside only to find someone arguing, and to his disappointment, it was those two who were arguing. Take your feet off the desk now. The glasses guy ordered Bakugo. Huh. Bakugo said, not caring for the glass guy. It's the first day, and you are already disrespecting the academy by scuffing school property, you cretin. The glasses guy scolded Bakugo. You're kidding me, right? Your old school put up your butt or were born with it. Bakugo said mockingly, almost insulting Ida. Oh my luck. Or bad luck in this case, Izuku said, annoyed, not believing his luck to be stuck with them. Let's start over. I'm 𝐀𝐮𝐬𝐿 from Semi-Private Academy. Ida reintroduced. Sumaya. So you must think you're better than me. I'm gonna have fun tearing you a new one. Bakugo laughs evilly. Gasp. You would threaten me. Your own classmate. Are you sure you're in the right place? Ida asked with doubt and surprise before he looked at the door and saw Izuku. It's you. Ida exclaimed, pointing at Izuku, and the whole class looked at Izuku. Izuku then looked behind him before looking back at Ida. Oh me? He asked, confused. Good morning. My name is 𝐀𝐮𝐬𝐿 from. Ida introduced himself only to be cut by Izuku. Semi-Private Academy, I know. The name is Izuku Midoriya. Izuku greeted. Midoriya, I shouldn't have misjudged you so quickly. You perceived the true nature of that test. You are indeed the superior candidate. Ida apologized while feeling unworthy. If you find out I am quirkless, you will say otherwise, Izuku thought sadly. Suddenly, Uraraka showed up behind Izuku. Hey, I recognize that messed up hair. The sword boy. Uraraka exclaims as she walks into the classroom. Izuku turned to see Uraraka. He sees from bottom to up, her brown shoes, her black tights, her uniform, and her smiling face. Oh my god. It's her, the nice girl. Izuku thought, embarrassed. Uraraka began moving her arms. Mimicking how Izuku destroyed the faux villains during the exam day, you slice them so easily. You are amazing. She exclaims excitedly. Izuku blushed red and covered his face from Uraraka. He then scratched the back of his head. Wow. She does look cute with her uniform. Wait, what the hell, Izuku? You sounded like a creep. Izuku blushed in front of Uraraka while she continued to talk. Bakugo just sat in his chair, staring rather angrily at Izuku. Flashback. Bakugo is walking through the city when by chance he meets Izuku, who just exits a convenience store. Bakugo then pinned Izuku against a wall on a small alley beside the convenience store. Where the hell have you been? Bakugo screams angrily. Where I live has nothing to do with you, Izuku coldly replies. My old hag and old man are worried about you, innit? Bakugo said angrily. You told them? Izuku asks. What do you think? You are about to enter the U. Of course, they will find out sooner or later. We've been looking for you, Bakugo explains. If I met them, then they would tell me not to enroll and to give up, just like what you have been told me all those years ago. And even now, Izuku explains. Then he grabs Bakugo's arm. I chose what I wanted to do with my life. I will not let others tell me what to do under the premise of, for my own good, bullshit, Izuku exclaims angrily. So, like it or not, you can't stop me. He screams. Flashback end. Bakugo scowled. Fine. If I can't stop you from entering the U, then I will break you, to show you that your dreams are impossible, he mumbled. Meanwhile, Izuku still covering his face from the enthusiastic Uraraka. What do you think we're doing today besides orientation? I wonder what our teachers are like. I can't wait to meet everybody. Uraraka exclaimed, smiling. If you're just here to make friends, then you can pack up your stuff now, someone said behind the three of them. Ida looked behind Uraraka but didn't see anyone. Izuku also looks behind her and sees no one until he looks down and instinctively points there. Uraraka and Ida then look where Izuku is pointing and see an unkempt man inside a yellow sleeping bag, lying down. "Welcome to U.S. Hero course," the man said in a bored tone. Izuku, Uraraka, and Ida gasped in surprise. "What is that thing?" They all thought surprise. "What the? Who is he? But why do I feel like I've seen him before?" Izuku wondered. "It took you 8 seconds for you all to shut up. Rational students would understand that time is precious," the man said before he stood up and walked inside the classroom and in front of the students. "Hello, I'm 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, your teacher," Izawa said flatly. "Our teacher?" The students were confused and surprised. "This is a little sudden, but put this on and head outside," Izawa said as he pulled out a blue gym uniform from his sleeping bag. Izuku raised his hand. Sir, can I ask a question?" Izuku said. Go ahead," Izawa said tiredly. "Did you wear that sleeping bag from the teacher's lounge all the way here?" Izuku asks. "That's what," Izawa answered. How did you move from there to here? Did you crawl? Or jump? Because we didn't see you came here," Izuku asked, but Izawa just looked at him with an annoyed face before he went out, leaving them. "I guess the answer is classified," Izuku shrugs. "Yeah, but I do wonder how he able to move through," a boy with yellow hair said, with the rest agreeing. "Well, let's not make him wait, since I'm sure he's not the type of teacher you wanted to annoy," Izuku said. "Yeah," the whole class nods in agreement. "I agree. Let's go, fellow classmates," Ida said with a robot hand movement. Meanwhile, All Might is in the teacher's lounge reading a book. Course doesn't follow the normal academic path, get the wrong homeroom teacher and life is hell, All Might says worried. Boys' changing room. Izuku is wearing the blue gym uniform, but also wearing his chest armor and backpack GN drive armor as well. "Hey, why are you wearing that?" a boy with yellow hair said as he noticed Izuku's armors. "You can't wear that for whatever we will do on the field," he claims. Before Izuku can reply, a blonde, French-looking boy speaks. "You actually can, mon ami. If you submit special permission, they will let you wear a support device," the French-looking boy said. As he said, "He and I have special permission to wear a support device," Izuku said sheepishly. "Oh, okay then. Sorry to bother you," the yellow-haired boy said before walking away. The French-looking boy winked before also walking away. Izuku exhaled silently as he thought he was in trouble on the first day of school. In the field. A quirk assessment test. Everyone asks, confused. "But orientation, we're gonna miss it," Uraraka said worriedly. "If you all want to excel, you can't waste time on pointless ceremonies," Izawa answered, making Uraraka surprised. "Here at UA, we're not tethered to traditions, which means I get to run my class however I see fit. The country's still trying to pretend we're all created equal by not letting those with the most power excel. It's not rational," Izawa explained before he looked at Izuku. "Midoriya, you scored the highest in the entrance exam," Izawa said, surprising Bakugu. "What? What do you mean he scores the highest in the exam?" Bakugu yelled, but Izawa ignored him. "What was your best score for the softball throw while you were in junior high?" Izawa asks. "I'm homeschooled. But to answer your question, 65 to 66 meters, I think," Izuku answered. Izawa was silent for a second. "Try doing it with your quirk," Izawa said as he passed a softball to Izuku. "With your quirk?" That word flashed Izuku's mind, so he didn't check. He wonders as he looks at Izawa. "Is there a problem?" Izawa asks rather coldly. Izuku perked his head away from Izawa. "No, sir." He apologizes. Izuku then walks to the throwing circle. Izuku took several deep breaths as he looked at the ball several times. "Stop wasting time and do it," Izawa ordered as he was getting irritated. "If Midoriya doesn't shape up soon, he will be going home," Ida said, a little worried. "Of course he will. He is quirkless," Bakugu scoffs. "What? Quirkless?" "But he was performing so well during the exam, and he also gained first place," Ida said, confused. "Say whatever you want. That demon Deku is quirkless," Bakugu claimed, making those who hear it to begin whispering with each other. "This is not the quirk that he wanted me to use." Izuku gulped, thinking he felt his throat dry. He then moves to throw the ball. You've never gotten to use your quirks in physical tests before. But doing that now will allow me to figure out your potential as a pro hero, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 said, then showed the class Izuku's score. He gained 65. 5 meters. It's the same. He didn't really gain a better score, an invisible girl said, confused. Maybe he is not using his quirk. A boy with red spiky hair said. But didn't Mr. 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 say it's okay to use our quirk? A girl with pink skin said, confused. Then what is that fancy support device for? A boy with yellow hair said, confused. Aesthetic purposes. A boy with a circular elbow shrugs. I don't think you need such a sophisticated-looking support device just for aesthetic, a girl with earphone jack ears said. So does he really quirkless? A boy with a tail said, making everyone start whispering. You can't survive for long, idiot, Deku smirked, satisfied. 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 just stared at Izuku for a second. Today you'll compete in 8 physical tests to gauge your potential. Whoever comes in last has none and will be expelled immediately, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 said with a creepy smile, making the students surprised. Back to All Might, he smacks his forehead. Oh, see, he got 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵. Young Midoriya is going to be singled out from the start, he said, worried as he read 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵's file, who have a record of 154 students expelled. Damn it. So my journey already ended before it even began. Izuku thought, frustrated. You can't send one of us home. I mean, we just got here. It's only the first day, and even if it wasn't, that isn't fair. ― protested, with the other agreeing. Oh, and you think natural disasters are? Or crimes? 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 asks back, making the students confused. No, the world is full of unfairness. It's a hero's job to overcome that unfairness. So go beyond, plus ultra style. Show me it's no mistake that you're here, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 said, smirking while pointing at the students that was shocked by his explanation. I don't approve of this kind of hazing, but UA's the top hero program. I have no choice, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 thought, then drank some water from his bottle. Time to blow these nerds away, especially Deku there. For your stubbornness, I'll make him quit, Bakugo thought, smirking while glaring at Izuku. Now then, we're just wasting time by talking, let's the games begin, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 said. Then the physical exam started. Test 1, 50-meter dash. Runner on your mark, ready, a camera bot said as 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 and a girl with frog features preparing to run. Go! The camera bot said, and then both 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 and the frog girl ran. 3:24 seconds, the camera bots announced 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵's time. At 50 meters, I can only get to third gear, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 thought. Well, he's definitely in his element, but speed won't help him in every test, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 thought, looking at 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵's score. 5:58 seconds, the camera bots announced the frog girl's time. Caro, the frog girl said as she finished. I'll lighten up my clothes. Oh, and my shoes too, ― said as she used her quirk on her clothes and shoes. She then began to run with a boy with a tail. 5:49 seconds, the camera bots announced the boy with tail time. 7:15 seconds, the camera bots announced ―'s time. Well, at least that's higher than junior high, ― thought, smiling. Next is a pink girl with a horn and a French-looking boy. Nice attempts, mon ami. But you're just not showing enough pizzazz, let my power shine, the French-looking belt stated as he fired off his laser and then propelled himself backward to the finish line, but the laser stopped and he stopped as well, making the pink girl catch up. 5:51 seconds. The camera bots announced both the pink girls and the French-looking boys' times. Testing the upper limits of their power helps me assess their room for growth, it before clear what they can and can't do, their true potential, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 thought. Izuku and Bakugo are next. Sometimes pros have to be creative to succeed, 𝐻𝐻𝐸𝐵 thought as both Bakugo and Midoriya started their race. Burst speed. Bakugo yelled as he used his explosion to propel himself to the finish line. But before Bakugo reaches the finish line, Izuku flies past him with shiny particles emitting from the GN drive. Whoa, what is that? A boy with red spiky hair said in surprise. They are shiny. A girl with pink skin exclaims. They are apparently coming from his cone-like support device on his back, a girl with a raven ponytail hair analyzes. And did he just fly with it? A boy with a bird for a head added, I think so, the girl with raven ponytail hair replied. 3, 50 seconds, the camera bots announced Izuku's time, much to Bakugu's surprise. 4, 13 seconds, the camera bots announced Bakugu's time. What the? Demon him. My quirk has more uses than anyone else in this school, Bakugu gritted his teeth. Test 2, grip strength. Izuku takes a deep breath, then he grips the measurement device. Izuku continued to grip it until the device beeped. It shows 100 kilograms grip strength. Izuku smiled satisfied. Then a boy with 6 arms gets 540 kilograms of grip. Wow, you hit 540 kilograms. You're such a beast. A boy with a circular elbow was praised. Yeah, like a muscly octopus. A short boy with a purple ball for hair commented test 3, standing long jump. The students are jumping as far as they can with their quirks. The French-looking boy uses his laser to get across. Bakugu used his explosive to get across. 𝐬𝐻𝗔 has 0 gravity herself and floats across. The frog girl jumped all the way across. Izuku used his 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 drive to fly across. Test 4, repeated side step. The boy with ball hair uses his hair to bounce back and forth against the ball. Well, that's unique, Izuku thought, looking at the bouncing boy. Test 5, ball throw. Since Izuku already did it, he did not participate again. Bakugu prepares himself to throw. He looks at Izuku with a stink eye before he screams, "Die." Bakugu screams as he uses his explosive to propel the ball in the air. He gains 705. 2 meters. Wow, that's far, the boy with spiky red hair said. Yeah, that was awesome, the boy with circular elbows said in awe. 𝐬𝐻𝗔 is next. She uses her quirk at the ball and then throws it. The ball climbs higher and higher until it disappears from sight. Aizawa then showed her score, and this surprised everyone. Infinity. The students yell surprise at the score if that can be considered as a score that is. That's insane. How's that possible? The boy with yellow hair asks in surprise. Even if she floats the ball to space, it's still only 100 kilometers, and if she floats it around the world, it's still 12,756 kilometers, not infinity, Izuku said, confused about the measurement device logic. Test 6, endurance run. The students lined up at the starting line. Runner, on your mark, ready, the camera bots said. Then they all prepared to run. Go! The camera bots said that they all began to run at top speed. Bakugu used his explosion, the boy with the strange belt used his laser, Ida went up to his 5th gear, the frog girl jumped around, and everyone was using their quirk to the best of their abilities to run as far as possible. One by one, the students began to slow down. Even Bakugu was running now because his hands were hurting. Ida's engine began to overhead, and he started to run in lower gear. The only two who are still going at high speed are Izuku and a raven ponytail-haired girl. Izuku, since he basically flies around the course with his 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 drive, while the girl because she created a literal bicycle and rides it on the course. The students are running at moderate speeds when the bicycle girl rides past them. Come on. That's cheating. A boy with yellow hair yelled tiredly. If I'm cheating, what about him? The bicycle girl said when Izuku flew past them. On your left, Izuku told Bakugu as he flew past him and the other students. You effer. Bakugu screams before he creates a large explosion and tries to catch up with Izuku. That's hacking. A boy with circular elbows yells. But what's with his support device? Did it never run out of fuel or something? A boy with yellow hair said, frustrated. Yeah. We've been running for 15 minutes already, a boy with big lips claims. If he is really quirkless, then he is cheating, a girl with 𝐬𝐻𝗔𝐿 said, annoyed. Yeah. He relied heavily on his support device. A boy with a purple ball for hair agrees. But, technically speaking, we are also relying on our quirks. Not really that different from him, 𝐬𝐻𝗔𝐿 pointed out. This and that are different. Some students yell in annoyance. But, is it really? Ida thought deeply. Later, Izuku gained first place by scoring 40 laps in 20 minutes. Time skipped to the result. Alright, let's see the result. You should all have a pretty good idea of where you stand, Aizawa said as he displayed a hologram of the scores. Izuku gained first place. A girl named Yaoyorozu is second. A boy named Todoroki is third. Bakugo is fourth. And a boy named Mineta is dead last. No, I can't be in last place. I haven't done anything. The short boy / Mineta yells in agony. So, does he get expelled? Kaminari asks as he points at the crying Mineta. Not him, Aizawa said, confusing everyone. Midoriya, pack your stuff. You are out of here. Aizawa expelled Izuku instead, surprising everyone even more. What? Izuku said, shocked. But he gained first place, Uraraka said, surprised. Why did you expel Midoriya instead of Mineta, sir? Ida asks, raising his arm. I think everyone knows why, Aizawa replied. Everyone is confused as to why until Bakugo speaks. I told you, didn't I, Deku? There's no way a quirkless like you can be a hero, Bakugo said smugly. Wait, so he really is quirkless? Wow, I don't know a quirkless can get into a hero course. Hero course especially. So he is cheating all this time. Yeah, he is very reliant on his support device. I don't know what he is trying to do here. He will get himself killed. Izuku just stood there as he heard everyone bad-talking him. Izuku's lips quiver and his fists shake as he clenches them. No matter how much a quirkless has accomplished, they will never be acknowledged. They will always be judged as weak, useless, and stupid. Is a quirkless person's dream to be a hero really that impossible? Do you really need to have a quirk to become a hero? Is a quirk really made who you are? And you are nothing without it. Uraraka is restless as her savior is just been expelled for something he has no control over. But do you really need to expel him, Mr. Aizawa? Uraraka asked. He is very capable, and he even saved me. She begged when Izuku put his hand on her shoulder. At first, Izuku is silent for a second before he looks at Uraraka. It's okay. He does it because he is worried about my safety. Izuku somewhat defended Aizawa's expelling him. But Uraraka's attempt is futile as she notices Izuku has chosen to give up. Izuku sighed, then started to walk away, when suddenly, wait right there, young man. Someone yells, surprising everyone. What did he want? Aizawa said, annoyed as he looked at the person who yelled. Suddenly out of nowhere, All Might just appeared in front of the students standing while puffing his chest, hands on his hips, and with his iconic smile. Haha. Hello future heroes. I am. Just happened to wander around. All Might exclaims while flexing his body. Whoa. Almost everyone gasped. I can't believe it. It's really All Might. Kaminari said excitedly. So he's really a teacher. This year is gonna be awesome. Kirishima yells excitedly. What are you doing here, All Might? Ashui bluntly asks. I just happened to wander around, trying to get to know the school better since it's been a while since I graduated from here. All Might makes an excuse, and while walking here, I just happened to hear that young Midoriya here is being expelled, he claims. Of course he is a useless quirkless, Bakugo claims with a smirk. I would wipe that smirk off your face if I were you, young Bakugo, All Might said, confusing Bakugo and others. What do you mean, All Might? Kaminari asked, confused. Before All Might can speak, Izuku speaks first. While I do appreciate what are you trying to do, All Might, Izuku said, making All Might to look at him, it's kind of unfair here. It feels like you are defending me just because I am quirkless and nothing else, he claimed. I'm sorry to make you feel that way, young Midoriya. It's just a shame to me to see a capable young man like you getting expelled, All Might claims. Capable? But he is quirkless, Mineta said with some nodding. All the more reason why he is capable, All Might claimed, then pointing his hand at Izuku. He is well aware that he is quirkless, but he doesn't let that fact stop him from gaining first place in the entrance exam, he explains. But he relied on his support device, not his quirk, 𝐀𝐮𝐿 claims. And yet, what is the difference? All Might asks, making everyone look at him confused. If you look at it from a different perspective. Izuku suddenly said, gaining everyone's attention. A quirk is just a tool. And how you use it determines how useful they are, he claims before looking down and away. Precisely. A quirk is a tool that most of us have, and we rely on it to become a hero. The only difference between young Midoriya and us is that our quirk is biological, whereas his is not. His quirk is mechanical. All Might pointed at Izuku. He wasn't born with a quirk, but he created his own quirk. He broke any bias by gaining first place in the Hero Course exam. He is capable, All Might exclaims while clenching his fist. Everyone then thought for a second as they tried to digest what All Might just said. Now tell me honestly, Aizawa, did you expel him because he is quirkless, or because he doesn't have potential? All Might asks because I know you see potential in him, he added. Aizawa was only silent for a few seconds. You can stay, Aizawa simply said before walking away. Izuku perked up towards Aizawa in complete shock. What? Bakugo screams in surprise. That's it, we're done for today. Pick up a syllabus in the classroom and read it over by tomorrow. Things are gonna be tougher tomorrow when your actual training begins. Make sure you're prepared, Aizawa said, then he walked away leaving the confused, stunned, and shocked students behind. Wait sir, you wanted a quirkless to stay in the hero course? 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 asked, surprised, but Aizawa just kept walking away. And what is the problem with that? Uraraka said, a little angry. He's quirkless, Mineta said nervously. All Might already said that he and we are not that much different, Uraraka said angrily. You are lucky, Deku, Bakugo scoffed. What is your problem? Uraraka asked, annoyed. Piss off, round face. Bakugo yells before walking away in anger. Our round. Uraraka said, surprised. It's all right, Uraraka. He's like that, Izuku assured her. Did you know him before today, Midoriya? Uraraka asks. Unfortunately, Izuku replied. But, All Might, Kaminari looks at All Might, who still stays with them. Are you sure Midoriya can stay in the hero course? Hey, you didn't see him fight before. You don't know how capable he is, Kirishima suddenly defended Izuku. He is right, mon ami. Monsieur Midoriya is very capable, Aoyama also defended Izuku. Izuku looked at the two of them in surprise. There had never been another who defended him before. You've seen him fight before, Kirishima? Mina asked, surprised. Yeah, during the entrance exam. He fought so manly. He flies, maneuvers, and slices the foe villains like an experienced fighter. He is manly. Kirishima exclaims. He might not be as dazzling as me, but Monsieur Midoriya est un excellent he is very excellent, Aoyama added. The other students are conflicted as Izuku is quirkless, meaning he can't be a hero. But despite that, Izuku also gained first place in the entrance exam. And with Kirishima's and Aoyama's story, Izuku does certainly have skills despite being quirkless. Haha. All Might suddenly laugh, gaining everyone's attention. Remember, youngers, you are all here to be heroes, and discrimination is not a heroic behavior, All Might reminded, making some students look away in shame. Bakugo, in the meanwhile, gritted his teeth in anger and then glanced at All Might. You defended a quirkless. A useless quirkless. He thought angrily before walking away. Well then, good day, young heroes. For I must go away. All Might said before he ran away. That was pretty nerve-wracking though. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 asks while laughing a little, as only they are left on the field. Nah, it was a good challenge. Kirishima exclaimed. While other teachers are like, let's bond together first before we go into academics. Mr. Aizawa is like, this is my name, the syllabus and homework. Due tomorrow, Kaminari joked. We're unfortunate to get him as our teacher, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨 said tiredly. I'm predicting that we will have a tough time throughout our time at UA, Mina whined. Revelry in the dark, Tokoyami said. Kero. Azui tilted her head, confused. The path of becoming a hero is not an easy path. Ida claim. That is true, Uraraka agrees. So, what now? Mina asks. How about we go home? Sato suggested. Good idea, Toru said. Then everyone walked to the changing room. Time skip. Izuku is walking out of the U. When Ida calls him, Midoriya. Ida called him and then approached him. How are you? I'm good, Izuku gave a short reply. No, Midoriya. How are you? Ida asked again with a serious expression. Sigh. I'm fine, Ida. Pain's an old friend. So you don't have to worry, Izuku said before walking away. Ida felt something just hit his chest. He saw Izuku walking away before calling him again, Midoriya. Ida then bowed down. I apologize for my immature and unheroic behavior towards you. He apologizes. Midoriya stops and looks at the bowing Ida before walking towards him. You don't have to apologize, Ida. And I don't hold any resentment towards you either. But instead, Izuku said before extending his arm towards Ida, who looked at him, let's start over. I'm Izuku Midoriya, Izuku smile. Ida felt relief before standing up and shaking Izuku's hand. I'm Tenya Ida. He introduced himself properly. I was a bit concerned by Mr. Aizawa's approach to class, but I trust the school's judgment. You? Is the top program, Ida exclaimed. I have a feeling that he doesn't really like me, Izuku claims. You can't have those kinds of thoughts about your teacher, Midoriya, Ida scolded. I was expelled for a second earlier, remember? Izuku shrugged. Hey! A person calls them, they look back and see Uraraka running towards them. Wait up, you two. Are you going to the station? I'll join you guys. She exclaimed. Oh, you're the Infinity Girl, Ida said, not remembering her name. I'm Ochako Uraraka. Let's see. Uraraka said, then he looked at Ida. You are Tenya Ida. She then looks at Izuku, and your name is Deku Midoriya, right? Uraraka said. Deku. Izuku said, surprised. Yeah, isn't that what that Bakugo called you? And you also said that you knew him before, Uraraka said. My actual name is Izuku Midoriya. Bakugo called me Deku to make fun of me. I don't really care all that much throughout the years, Izuku explains. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it, Uraraka apologized, feeling bad. It's alright. Now let's go home, Izuku said, smiling. I agree, Ida agreed. Well, it's nice to meet you too, Uraraka said happily before the three of them began to walk to the station. In a way, I survived the first day at you. But at least I have friends now. That's counted as a good thing, right? Izuku thought while walking home. You? A high school's hero course, a place where you train to become a hero, but that doesn't mean you don't have academics, Midoriya narrated as he and his classmate were having a normal English lesson with Present Mike. Present Mike wrote 4 sentences on the class board before he turned to the class. Now, which of these 4 sentences contains a mistake? He asked the class. Meanwhile, the class is just like, so boring. They all thought sweat was dropping. This really 𝐶𝐶 Bakugo thought uninterested in the lesson. Hey, everybody look alive. Grammar rules. Present Mike exclaimed, waving his arm around. The last sentence is wrong, Izuku thought. Then behind him, Yaoyorozu raised her hand. You? Cafeteria, a place where all students from every course gather around to eat. The food is cheap and surprisingly good, Izuku narrated as he and his classmate were eating when the cook, lunch rush, approached them. White rice is the perfect comfort food, isn't it? Lunch rush said with a thumbs up. This is super good. Uraraka nodded, smiling. Izuku hums in agreement. But of course, the main event of a hero course is the hero lesson, Izuku narrated inside the classroom, when suddenly, I am. A voice said before he entered the classroom, coming through the door like a normal person. All Might exclaimed with a strange pose, whoa. The whole class gasped. I still can't believe it. All Might really is our teacher. Kaminari said excitedly. I know, right? Kirishima yells excitedly. Hey, look, is he wearing his Silver Age costume? Azui said, touching her chin. I'm getting goosebumps, it's so retro, Ojiro commented. I still find myself smiling whenever he is around, Izuku thought, amused as All Might walked to the front teacher's desk. Welcome to the most important class at Hi. Think of it as 𝐻𝐮𝐦𝐸 101. All Might continues as he walks to the center of the class. The students were excited the real show was about to start, then All Might spoke. Here you will learn the basics of being a pro and what it means to fight in the name of good. He exclaimed. Let's get into it. Today's lesson. All Might said before he pulled out a card with the word, battle. Will pull no punches. All Might finishes. Battle. Bakugo thought with a smirk. Training. Izuku though interested. But one of the keys to being a hero is. All Might said before he pressed a button, and 19 suitcases pushed out from the wall. Looking good. These were designed for you based on your quirk registration forms and the requests you sent in before school started. All Might explain while the students yell excitedly. This will be awesome. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 exclaims. Alright then. Get yourselves suited up. And meet me at training ground beta. All Might instructed. Yes, sir. The students reply before they go to the changing room. Time skip to the training ground. They say that the clothes make the pros, young ladies and gentlemen. And behold, you are the proof. All Might exclaimed, and then one by one, the students came out from the tunnel with their costumes. This is getting me ramped up, you look so cool. Now, shall we get started? You bunch of newbies. All Might asks, smirking with pride at his students. My path to becoming a hero starts here, Izuku thought as he walked out from the tunnel with his hero suit. Whoa. What's with the robot? 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 said surprise. Look at those swords, 𝐀𝐮𝐬𝐫 said. Wait, isn't that chest and backpack what Midoriya used yesterday? Yaoyorozu asked as she recognized some parts of Izuku's suit. Wait, it does? So, realized this as well. Yeah, that right hand and backpack do look like the support device Midoriya uses during the entrance exam, Kirishima claims with Aoyama nodding in the background. That's Midoriya. Uraraka claims smiling. While at first, everyone awes at the robot-like suit, they immediately look away and whisper to each other. So he is wearing a full-body suit of a support device. This is definitely more cheating than yesterday. And yet, he said that he is the same as us. Bakugo looks at Izuku with even more hate than before. Not only is Izuku wearing a support device, but he is also wearing a full-body suit of the support device. That is cheating to the bone in Bakugo's book. Izuku didn't say anything as he already expected them to react like that. He just stood there ignoring whatever everyone was saying. Uraraka feels bad and angry that everyone is bad-talking Izuku, so then she walks toward Midoriya. Hey Midoriya. Izuku turns and sees Uraraka in her hero costume, and he is surprised by what he sees. Uraraka. I already see parts of your costume, and to see a full-body robot-like costume is so cool. Uraraka said excitedly, but Izuku is freaking out behind his helmet. I should have written what I wanted. Mine ending up as a skin-tight bodysuit. It's embarrassing. Uraraka said, a little embarrassed. Good God. Get any of those thoughts out of your head, Izuku. Izuku mentally yelled while definitely not checking on Uraraka's slender yet curvaceous figure. I love this school, Mineta said with a thumbs up, but Izuku noticed him. Mental note, keep an eye on that midget, Izuku mentally notes to himself. Now that you're ready, it's time for combat training. All Might exclaimed, but then Ida raised his hand. Sir, this is the fake city from our entrance exam. Does that mean we'll be conducting urban battles again? Ida asks behind his knight armor-like costume. Not quite. I'm going to move you 2 steps ahead. Most villain fights you see on the news take place outside. However, statistically speaking, run-ins with the most dastardly villains take place indoors. All Might explains. I'm not really good with indoors CQB, but I do what I have to do to become a hero, Izuku thought, looking at his oversized GN sword. Think about it. Backroom deals, home invasions, secret underground lairs. He exclaimed, clenching his fist. Truly intelligent criminals stay in the shadows. For this training exercise, you'll be split into teams of good guys and bad guys and fight 2-on-2 indoor battles, All Might explains. Isn't this a little bit advanced? 𝐴zuie asks, tilting her head and touching her chin. The best training is what you get on the battlefield. But remember, you can't just punch a robot this time. You're dealing with actual people now. So if you can hold back enough not to hurt your opponent, All Might explained. Sir, will you be the one deciding who wins? Yaoyorozu asks, raising her hand. How much can we hurt the other team? Bakugo asks with a straight face. Do we need to worry about the losers getting expelled like yesterday? Uraraka asked worriedly. Will you be splitting us by chance or by comparative skill? Ida asks, raising his hand. Isn't this cape tray chic? Aoyama asks, winking and showing his cape. The students asked simultaneously. My quirk is super strength, not super hearing. All Might groans while clenching his fist in annoyance. Listen up. All Might raises his voice, grabs a piece of paper, and reads it. A script. Izuku thought, surprised. The situation is this. The villains have hidden a nuclear missile somewhere in their hideout. The heroes must try to foil their plan. The heroes either have to catch the evildoers or recover the weapon. Likewise, the villains succeed if they protect their payload or capture the heroes. All Might explains, not leaving his sight on the small script. Sounds like an American classic action movie setup, Izuku commented. Time is limited and we'll be choosing teams by drawing lots. All Might explains that he grabs a box out of nowhere. Isn't there a better way? Ada asks, surprised. Sometimes there's a situation where you can't pick up the team yourself, so you need to be able to work together with the team you're in with, despite if whether the team is not planned out, Izuku commented. Yes, I see. Life is a series of random events. Excuse my rudeness, Ida said, understanding Izuku's reason, then bowed down to All Might. No sweat. Let's draw. All Might said, then he began to draw the teams. Teams as follow: Izuku, Uraraka B, Shoji, Todoroki C, Mineta, Yaoyorozu D, Bakugo Ida E, Mina, Aoyama F, Koda, Sato G, Kaminari, Jiraiya H, Tokoyami, Azui I, Ojiro, Toru J, Siro, Kirishima. Wow, what are the chances? We're a team. Uraraka exclaimed as she got close to Izuku. Why? What are the odds? Izuku replied nervously, how do you talk to a girl your age again? Man, ICK. At this he thought, depressed. How we decide the opponent, sir? Are we gonna use the box again? Ida asks, raising his hand again. No, we're not gonna use this box, All Might explained as he threw the box away. That's littering. And even after you told me to clean an entire beach of trash, you hypocrite, Izuku thought, disappointed. But we gonna use. All Might said then, this other box. All Might grab another box from out of nowhere. The students had an anime fall because of that. You can't be serious, sir, Ida said, surprised and confused like others. I am, All Might replies, smiling. Are you secretly a comedian, All Might? Uraraka asks. No. I'm just funny, that's all. All Might replies. So you're a clown? Izuku asks. What? I'm just funny. All Might corrected. None of us are laughing, sir, Izuku flatly said as everyone reluctantly nodded their heads. Anyway. All Might yelled, then pulled out the opponent. I declare that the first teams to fight will be these guys. All Might announced as he pulled out 2 balls with the letters A on the white ball and D on the black ball. Team A will be the heroes, Team D will be the villains, and everyone else can head to the monitoring room to watch. All Might orders. Yes, sir. The students replied, then they left, leaving Team A and D in the city. Bakugo glared at Izuku with hate. Bakugo kept glaring at him, and after a moment he looked away and then gritted his teeth. Bad guys, you can go in and get set up. In 5 minutes, the good guys will be let loose and the battle will start. All Might explain. Young Ida, young Bakugo. The key to being successful in this challenge is to embody villainy. Think from the perspective of an evildoer, All Might told the two. Got it, Ida replied. If things go too far, I'll step in, All Might added. I know this is training, but it pains me to be aligning with criminal behavior, Ida said as he walked to the nuclear missile, so this is the weapon we must protect. Fake of course, Ida said as he knocked the missile. Hey! Bakugo calls Ida. Do you really think that Deku is not cheating? Is Deku? Oh, Midoriya. I think no, All Might already explained it yesterday, and he gained first place in yesterday's quirk test and the entrance exam, Ida replied. But Bakugo became angrier, and Ida noticed this. Why is that you seem to be especially angry when it comes to Midoriya? Ida asks confused, but Bakugo ignores him and grumbles to himself. He dares to take away my spotlight with some cheating scrap robot support device. I'll show him who's boss. I'm gonna roast that bstrd today. And expose his cheating. Bakugo thought angrily. Meanwhile, outside the test building. You think they expect us to memorize this building's floor plan? Uraraka asks, confused, looking at the schematic in her hand. This is different from what I expected, she claims as she tries to read the building's schematic. Reality can be often disappointing, Izuku commented as he scanned the building with his helmet sensors. You know, All Might's just as cool in person as he is on TV, Uraraka said, smiling at Izuku. Yeah, though he is a little awkward, I think he is still adapting to becoming a teacher, Izuku claims. Yeah, I guess All Might is a little awkward, Uraraka laughs. So, how are we supposed to do this? She asks. Well, for me, a stealth attack is impossible, Izuku claims. Why is that? Uraraka asks, confused. Izuku moved his body around, and the noise of pistons and gears moving throughout his full-body support device could be heard quite noticeably. Uraraka understood. Yeah, this suit is not really meant for silent stealth, Izuku said. Thought it is stealth for radar thanks to the GN particles, Izuku thought. So we're going loud. Do we need to fight them head-on? Uraraka asks. Negative, the only one who will go loud is me. You will search for the nuclear bomb, while I'll distract you by going loud, Izuku explained before he took off his helmet. Okay, I'll come with you and then separate after we meet with the moving villain, right? Uraraka asks. No, I've got a different plan, Izuku said. Alright, let's begin the indoor combat training. Team A and Team D. Your time starts now. All Might announced from the monitor room, pay attention, kids. Think about what you would do, All Might said to the rest of the class. Izuku walks to the front of the training building. All right, Uraraka. Find that bomb, he said before he walked to the building's door and put on his helmet. Something like this, but it's Ishia's head. Knock. Knock, fellas. Izuku yells as he kicks the front door open. Oh. He just kicked open the metal door like it was nothing, Kaminari said, surprised. A frontal assault. That's manly. Kirishima claimed. Well, he is wearing a full-body support device, so of course he can do that easily, Zero shrugs. But wait, where's Uraraka? Mina asks. I don't see her, Toru said. Did they take two different approaches? Yaoyorozu wonders. Let's see what kind of play you will show us, young heroes. All Might smiles. Izuku is walking deliberately noisily to attract the attention of the villains, or in this case, die. Bakugo yelled as jump out from behind Izuku and blasted an explosion at Izuku, who easily dodged. One angry Bakugo. You think you can just walk in here and do whatever you like? I can hear you from 2 stories up, idiot. Bakugo mocked. That was the idea, Bakugo, Izuku thought, amused. Bakugo then notices Uraraka is not with Izuku. Where is the girl? Where is she? Bakugo demanded. Why should I tell you? Izuku replies calmly, I will wreck you piece by piece if you don't tell me. Bakugo threatens, oh, I'm so scared. Izuku poorly faking being afraid, just like old times, right? He asked. Bakugo trembled in anger before he blasted toward Izuku and tried to attack him. Die. He yells as he launches an explosion toward Izuku's head. Izuku moved forward, lifted his left arm, and tanked the explosion with his shield, smacking away Bakugo's right arm, before punching Bakugo right on the chest, making him fly back. But he created an explosion behind him to stop his momentum before he blasted another explosion and blasted towards Izuku again. Bakugo then spins in the air before he tries to spin kick Izuku, but Izuku ducks down and maneuvers behind Bakugo. Bakugo blasted another explosion to stop his momentum and looked back, only for him to see a robot leg on his face. Izuku left kick at Bakugo's face, making Bakugo kiss the wall on his right. Bakugo groaned in pain before he lifted his right arm and blasted an explosion towards Izuku, but Izuku dodged by spinning to the right and maneuvering to Bakugo's left side. Bakugo gets off the wall, looks to his left, and tries to blast Izuku with his left arm, but Izuku ducks down after his spin and chin strikes Bakugo instead, making him fly back. Those inside the monitor room are surprised by Izuku's counterattacks. Gah! Bakugo yells in pain as he falls to the floor hard. Izuku stood up straight and looked at Bakugo coldly. I'm no longer the Deku that you knew. That kid died 9 years ago. And I took his place, Izuku claimed coldly. You d**med extra. Bakugo grunts as he tries to get out of the crater. You took my spotlight, humiliated me, looked down on me. That's why I hate you. Bakugo yelled angrily as he blasted toward Izuku. Hey, Bakugo. Give me your status. What happens? Ida asks Bakugo through the small radio. Just shut up and defend. I'm really angry right now. Bakugo replies angrily as he gets out of the crater on the wall. I'm not asking about how you feel. Ida asks before Bakugo cuts the transmission. Hey. He hung up. Going off on his own like that. What is wrong with him? Jeez. Ida yelled in frustration. What was Bakugo saying? Can't tell with just the cameras in a fixed position and no sound, Kirishima asked confused while looking at the screen. He's talking to his partner over the small wireless radio, All Might answered, pointing at the radio in his ear. You can bring that plus the building's floor plan and this capture tape. All Might explains, showing a capture tape to the students. Once you wrap this around your opponent, it shows that you've captured them. All Might explains. The time limit is 15 minutes, and the heroes don't know where the nuclear weapon is located, right? Mina asks. Yes. All Might answers. The heroes are clearly at a disadvantage here. Mina complained. Heroes should be able to turn the tables on whatever predicament they're in. Besides, didn't Mr. Aizawa tell you to? All Might explained, then asked. You know, here we go dash, All Might said, lifting his fist. Plus ultra. The students yelled together. Monsieur, Bakugo is dash, Aoyama said, then All Might looked back at the screen. Bakugo blasted towards Izuku who spun to the left and dodged the attack before kicking Bakugo's back, making him flung forward and kiss the floor face first. You fuck dash, Bakugo is cut when Izuku activates his GN drive to fly towards Bakugo and grab Bakugo by the neck. Izuku continues to fly across the hallway before slamming Bakugo straight to the wall. The force of the impact was so great that it created a crater on the wall and a massive dust cloud. DMN. Looks like Midoriya doesn't hold back at all, Kaminari said, wincing. He's going all out. That's manly. Kirishima claimed. With that kind of power, agility, and movement. No wonder he gained first place in the entrance exam, Yaoyorozu analyzes. But he is wearing a full-body support device. It helped him a lot, 𝐀𝐮 claims, with some agreeing. Before All Might had the chance to speak, someone beat him to it. Not exactly, Ojiro suddenly claims. Oh, did you know something, Ojiro? Toru asks. What makes you say that? Kaminari asks. Those moves, those are martial arts movements. I don't know much about machines, but even if they helped him, he needed to be at least an expert in martial arts to be able to move. Like that. So I think his support device only amplified what he already has. Ojiro claimed, he might not have a quirk, but he does have skill, he added. Everyone looks at Ojiro with a little thought in their heads. All Might smirked widely, nice one, young Ojiro. I hope you can hear this, young Midoriya. They are starting to trust you, he thought proudly. Cough, cough. You Fing. Bakugo grunts painfully as he glares the cold stare of Izuku's visor, die. Bakugo aimed his palms at Izuku's face before creating a massive explosion himself. Boom. Floor. Uraraka is sneaking in when she finds the missile, and Ida is guarding it. Found it. Now I just have to retrieve it, Uraraka thought. Wait, when does Uraraka get up there? Mina said, confused as she and others saw Uraraka on the screen. You're right, we never see her at all throughout the Bakugo's and Midoriya's fight. So how did she get up there? Toru agrees. Maybe she sneaks past Bakugo while Midoriya is handling him. 𝐀𝐮 suggested. She did not come with Midoriya earlier. All Might corrected as he didn't see her downstairs. So how did she get up there? Mina asks, confused. Minutes before the exam starts. So we're going loud. Do we need to fight them head-on? Uraraka asks. Negative, The only one who will go loud is me. You will search for the nuclear bomb, while I distract them by going loud, Izuku explained before he took off his helmet. Okay, I'll come with you and then separate after we meet with the moving villain, right? Uraraka asks. No, I've got a different plan, Izuku said before he grabbed Uraraka's left hand. Uraraka is surprised by Izuku's action. Izuku then inspects the cat-like paws on Uraraka's fingers. You activate your quirk by touching stuff with these cat-like paws, right? He asks, oblivious that he is grabbing a girl's hand. Yeah, I did, Uraraka replied. Somehow she blushed when Izuku inspected her fingers with seriousness. Can you use it on yourself? Like, make yourself weightless? Izuku asks seriously. But Uraraka felt her heart just jump when she saw Izuku's serious face. I can. She replied nervously. What was that? She thought surprised. Okay, I will go from the front door and make a distraction, while you go to the back and use your quirk to float to the roof and find the bomb from the top down. I have a feeling they will hide the bomb near the top floors. Izuku explained their plan. You understand? Yes. Uraraka shakes her head and looks at Izuku. Yeah, I understand. She yells rather nervously, confusing Izuku for a second. All right then, let's roll, Izuku said, smiling. Present time. Uraraka peeked from one of the pillars in the bomb room. I can do this. She's self-motivated, but before she could move, Ida began to speak. Bakugo is a natural at being bad, but that fits this training perfectly. Then I have to devote myself to being a villain. This is another trial to turn me into a man who will not bring shame to the Ida family. Became a villain. B died with evil to become a hero. Ida said before beginning his act. I am extremely evil. Ida said with a deep voice and menacing look. Pfffff. He's taking this too seriously. Uraraka laughs behind the pillar. Have you arrived, Uraraka? Ida asks villainously, making Uraraka surprised and walks out from her hiding place with a nervous smile. I knew that you would come here alone the instant Bakugo ran off by himself. Your quirk allows you to make the objects you touch float. That is why I put away all the things on this floor before you arrived. Now you cannot play your little tricks. You have blundered, hero. Ha! Ida exclaimed. He's starting to look like a villain. Uraraka said, scared, while Ida kept on laughing. Can I touch the bomb, please? Uraraka asks sweetly. I will not fall for that act. Ida declares, still with a villainous voice. I thought so. Uraraka smiled sweetly before she ran towards the bomb. Did you get desperate, hero? Ida taunted as he blocked her path. Uraraka used her quirk on herself before jumping above Ida, surprising him. We need to touch the weapon itself for it to count as being retrieved, Uraraka thought as she floated toward the bomb. Can she make herself float now too? Ida said, surprised. Release, Uraraka said as she touched her fingers together. In Ida's legs, multiple pipes were punctured before smoke ran out of the pipes, and Ida zoomed his way to the bomb. A little bit more. Uraraka thought as she fell to the ground when she was suddenly moved by Ida at blazing speed. Ah! Uraraka screamed, terrified as she got closer to the ground and crashed into the floor before rolling a few times until her back hit the wall and stopped her. Admirable attempt. But your quirk is not a threat if you cannot touch anything. And as long as I continue to move around, you cannot win. I'll hold out until time runs out. Haha. Ida explained before he laughed evilly. Despite looking quite stupid with that villain act, he does plan this thoroughly. I can't give up. Midoriya is trying so hard, Uraraka mentally declared as she began to move towards Ida. Downstairs. Boom. Bakugo sends a massive explosion right to Izuku's face. But Izuku managed to duck down in the last second before jumping back. But Bakugo jumped forward and launched another massive explosion towards Izuku. Boom. Take that death. Bakugo yells. When the dust dissipates, Izuku is in a defensive stance with his shield blocking the explosion. DMN. He sure does know how to fight, Izuku mumbled before he stands up. I'm going to get rid of you from this school and prove I am better. Bakugo claims Izuku's visor glows bright green before he deploys his Jian sword and slices Bakugo's chest. Bakugo is taken aback by what just happened and takes a step back in shock. Everyone in the monitor room also gasped in shock at what Izuku had just done. Bakugo stops and looks at his chest. Luckily, the cut is shallow, but it still slices through his suit and makes him bleed from the cut. Bakugo then looks at Izuku in shock. "You're saying?" Izuku smirks behind his helmet as he retracts the GN sword. Bakugo gritted his teeth. "Thing. That." He screamed angrily as he blasted towards Izuku. Bakugo screamed angrily as he blasted an explosion towards Izuku. Izuku blocked the explosion with his shield, then grabbed Bakugo's neck again, activated the GN drive and slammed Bakugo to a wall that broke, so he continued to fly to the next wall of the room. Ack. Bakugo grunted painfully. "Demon. Midoriya really didn't pull any punches," 𝐀𝐮𝐬 said, wincing. He slammed Bakugo through a solid brick wall like it was nothing. "Those support devices are strong," Kaminari said, surprised. "But I guess he is also strong," he admitted. "But Bakugo is also strong enough that he still stands after such attacks," Azui pointed out. "Those two are a league above us." Sato claims. "Go to sleep," Izuku said in a semi-robotic voice, then began to grip Bakugo's neck tighter, and Bakugo started to lose consciousness. "SHT. He's trying to knock me out," Bakugo thought painfully. Izuku continues to tighten his grip on Bakugo's neck. Phew! Bakugo then blasted the roof with a massive explosion. Noticing the large debris of the roof starting to fall down, Izuku throws Bakugo away before he dodges the falling debris. Bakugo landed on the floor, coughing badly, but smirked at Izuku. "Having a conscience for the villain is the wrong thing to have, Deku," Bakugo yelled as he blasted toward Izuku. Bakugo created several explosions towards Izuku, who dodged them all. Izuku tries to slice Bakugo, but Bakugo launches an explosion in front of Izuku, launching him into the air above Izuku. As Bakugo got behind Izuku, he created a massive explosion at Izuku's back. "Oh, I have no idea Bakugo is able to do that." 𝐀𝐮𝐬 claims surprise, like others. "Not just strong, he's clever as well," Todoroki claims. "Clever?" Mina asks, confused. "He not only uses the explosion to change direction mid-air, but also as a smoke screen," Todoroki explains. "DMN. They're smart and powerful, it's not fair." Kaminari complains. "Ha! Take that!" Bakugo yells. From the smoke, Izuku's shield suddenly flew towards Bakugo. Bakugo blasts the shield away, only to see Izuku already in front of him. Izuku grabs Bakugo's face before he slams it straight to the floor with a loud blam. Ouch! The class winced seeing Izuku slam Bakugo's head to the floor really hard. Midoriya is also smart. He throws his shield as both an attack and a distraction, distracting Bakugo just enough for him to close the gap and attack him with the actual strike, Todoroki claimed. "The way they both fight suggests that they are both skilled and experienced. They are no joke," Sato said. "And I think Ojiro is right," Yaoyorozu said, gaining everyone's attention. "I never saw a machine capable of making those kinds of movements, and even if they can, it wouldn't be that smooth and fluid. So I do think Midoriya is an expert martial artist, and his support device is mostly just armor like Ida's costume." She explains. "I hate to agree with you, but I have to agree. Seeing how Midoriya fights, I don't doubt that he is definitely skilled and experienced," 𝐀𝐮𝐬 said, embarrassed. "And we are being in but towards him just because he is quirkless." Kaminari said, embarrassed, making those who doubt Izuku to be embarrassed as well. "We have to apologize to him," Sato suggested. "Ha! Good, young heroes. You all realize your mistakes and try to make amends for them. True heroes not only fight to protect others but are also responsible for what they say or do. So if you do make mistakes, apologize and try to make up for it," All Might lectured. "Yes, sir." The students comply as they are fixed to make a proper apology to Izuku once his training is over. Izuku pinned Bakugo on the floor and tried to grab the capture tape, but Bakugo noticed that and he did not let someone inferior to him defeat him. Bakugo then created two massive explosions from his palm right below Izuku. "Gah!" Izuku groaned as he took the full force of the explosion and flung upwards through the hole above them and crashed into the second-floor roof before dropping to the second-floor. God damn it. Izuku groans in pain. His full-body suit does protect him from the fire and debris of the explosion, but it does little for the shockwave and kinetic energy from said explosion. Midoriya. Uraraka suddenly radios him. I'm here. Did you find the bomb? Izuku asks, grunting. I did, but Ida found me. I'm sorry, Uraraka apologized. I've been trying to get to the bomb, but he stopped me every time. He is monologuing right now, she informs. Where are you? Izuku asks. Near the middle of the 5th floor, Uraraka replied. Izuku glances up, right above me. 2 floors up, Izuku then drags himself on the floor before he tries to get up when Bakugo blasts upwards and joins him on the 2nd floor. Not that tough now, Deku. Bakugo mocks. Izuku slowly gets to his feet. They're loaded, Bakugo said, smirking. Loaded? Izuku thought, confused as he stood up. You're about to lose, Bakugo declares. How so? Izuku asks, thinking Bakugo must have lost it. He aims his right gauntlet at Izuku. My quirk, explosion, lets me secrete nitroglycerin like sweat from the sweat glands on the palm of my hand and make it explode, Bakugo explains. I already know that, Bakugo. Just cut to the point, Izuku simply said. If they made this the way I asked, then these gauntlets will store the nitroglycerin inside them and… Bakugo explained, making All Might's eyes go wide in the monitoring room. Don't tell me that's… All Might thought, shocked. Young Bakugo, stop. Are you trying to kill him? All Might warned him. If I don't hit him, he won't die. Bakugo yelled as he pulled out the pin, releasing a massive explosion toward Izuku. He is DMN crazy. Izuku thought, surprised as the massive explosion engulfed him. The explosion is strong enough to break through to the outside of the building. The whole building began to shake, surprising Uraraka and Ida, and even the monitoring room was shaken. This is supposed to be a class. Kirishima yells, surprised at the shaking. Young man. Young Midoriya. All Might called Izuku worriedly. Back in the building, the entire floor was destroyed, and there's a massive hole in the wall facing the streets. Wow. The more that's stored in this gauntlet, the stronger the blast. Come on and face me, death. It'll force you to surrender even if you're at full strength, Bakugo said with a crazy and evil smile. How do you like that, huh? Bakugo yells toward where Izuku was last seen. Bakugo, answer me. Did you do that? What in the world did you do? Ida asked Bakugo through the radio, but received no answer. A chance. Uraraka thought as she ran to the bomb with the shield following. I'm not going to be fooled again. Ida immediately grabbed the bomb and ran away from Uraraka. I can't keep up with Ida. He's too fast. Uraraka, though, worried. What with that explosion? 𝐀𝐮𝐿 yells in surprise as almost everyone in the monitoring room. Sir, you should stop them. That Bakugo's really crazy. He's gonna kill him. Kirishima begged All Might. No. All Might answered before he remembered Bakugo's words some time ago about not hitting Izuku. Strangely enough, part of him was still sane. I don't know if it's small-minded or what, but anyway. All Might thought. Young Bakugo, the next time you use that, I'll stop the fight, and your team will lose, All Might warned Bakugo, making him come back from his shock. To attack on such a large scale inside is inviting the destruction of the stronghold you should be protecting. That is a foolish plan, both heroes and villains. You will lose a lot of points for it. All Might finishes, making Bakugo start to shake with rage. As a teacher, I should stop this. However, All Might thought, gritting his teeth. GR. All right then. Let's fight it out with our fists. Bakugo screamed before he blasted towards the destroyed room and looked for Izuku. Where are you? Bakugo yelled. Outside the training building, the explosion has broken the glass of the surrounding buildings, and on the bus stop across the training building, lies Izuku on the wrecked but stop. He is flung back and off the training building by the explosion and lands at the bus stop. Izuku grunts as he is barely able to move his body. He painfully moves his head to look at the training building and sees a giant hole on the 2nd floor. He grunts before he presses a button on his helmet, and his helmet opens up, and he removes his helmet before coughing BLD. Despite being state-of-the-art, his suit was still in its earliest version. Not all systems were working as of yet. He internally groaned. Had the inertial dampener software been working? He coughed up BLD. I may not have suffered so much. In the training building, Bakugo is searching for Izuku before he moves to the destroyed wall and sees Izuku across the street, trying to get up from where he crashed. Bakugo smirks widely. Ha! Even with that scrap metal you wear, you are still inferior to me, Deku. Bakugo mocks. Izuku only glared at Bakugo as he was still trying to get up. Now come on, get up here and let me beat you. Bakugo taunted. Izuku gritted his teeth before he activated his 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 drive and flew towards Bakugo. Bakugo smirked wickedly, then he lifted his left arm and aimed at the flying Izuku. He waited until Izuku was close enough before launching a massive explosion. Izuku rolled to the right and avoided the explosion as he deployed the 𝐀𝐮 sword and sliced Bakugo's left gauntlet as he flew past Bakugo. Taken by surprise, Bakugo then noticed liquid pouring out from the sliced gauntlet. It was his stored sweat. He then moves the broken gauntlet away and tries to attack Izuku with his right arm. But when Bakugo looked to his right, Izuku sliced his right gauntlet with a glowing pinkish sword. Let's get upstairs, Izuku said before he activated his 𝐀𝐮 drive and grabbed Bakugo, then flew towards the hole in the wall. Uraraka. Go to the pillar by the window. Izuku radio Uraraka. Ha! Uraraka's reply is one of confusion. Just do it. Izuku yell. UFO. Bakugo yells as he tries to do something, but Izuku maneuvers sharply upwards, and the G-force immobilizes him. On the 5th floor, Uraraka moves to the pillar by the window and just waits there. Ida looks at Uraraka and is confused for a second. What's the matter, hero? Not going to cha. Ida didn't finish when he saw something coming from outside. Prang. The glass window breaks apart as Izuku pushes Bakugo from the outside. Wah! Ida is cut as Izuku pushes Bakugo towards him. Ida tries to move, but Izuku is faster, and he is hit by the flying boys. The 3 boys then fall down and tumble all over the floor before stopping on the other side of the room. Uraraka, taken by complete surprise at what just happened, falls to her knees as she cannot comprehend the situation. Izuku coughs before getting up and he looks at Uraraka. Uraraka. The bomb. He tells her. Uraraka is still shaken when she hears Izuku calling him, and it brings her back. It took her a few seconds to digest what Izuku was saying, but she then realized it and jumped toward the bomb retrieved. She yells as she hugs the bomb. Ida just gets up when he sees Uraraka hugging the bomb. No. The bomb. He yells in agony. They did it. All Might said, stunned. Bakugo gets up and sees Uraraka hugging the bomb, and Ida yelling beside him. Hero teams. All Might said. Izuku slumped down as he ran out of energy, and the giant explosion that threw him outside had done quite a damage to him. 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐵. All Might yells, and the first combat training is done. Izuku slumps down on the floor before passing out. Indoor person-to-person combat training. All Might said. Uraraka slides down from the bomb and slumps on the floor. Uraraka. Ida yelled, worried as he saw her. Hero teams. 𝐻𝐼𝐼𝐵. All Might yells over the radio. Bakugo gaped as he couldn't comprehend what had just happened. What the heck? The losers are practically uninjured, and the winners are on the ground. Kaminari said, stunned. They lost the battle but won the war. Tokoyami commented. This class is intense, Azui claims. Your indoor combat training is over, All Might said in the monitoring room before he moved to the training grounds. At the training grounds, All Might looks at Izuku, who is being carried by a stretcher by nurse bots. To the nurse's office, the rear nurse bot said. I know, the lead nurse bot replies, then they take Izuku to the nurse's office. My attacks, Deku predicted them, he was also toying with me, and making me look like an idiot. And somehow managed to win this fight? Bakugo thought, terrified. He managed to survive my biggest explosion and is still able to fight. So if he really wanted to fight, if he didn't hold back at all, he could defeat me. Bakugo thought, trembling as he began to hyperventilate when All Might touched his shoulder. "Come back, young Bakugo. It's time to review the results. Whether you win or lose, looking back and learning from your experiences is a part of life." All Might's lecture. Monitoring room. Well, moving on, even as the heroes win, the MVP for this battle was 𝐻𝐮𝐬𝐸𝐸. All Might claimed, surprising the students and making Iida gasp. "It's not either of the winners, Ochako or Midoriya." Azui asks, confused. "Well, why is that? Does anyone know?" All Might asks the students. Yaoyorozu then raises her arm. "Yes, Mr. All Might. That is because Iida adapted the most of the context of the training. From watching the match, it appears Bakugo acted on his own because of an obviously personal grudge. And as Mr. All Might said earlier, it is foolish to launch a large-scale attack indoors," Yaoyorozu explains while Bakugo just stays silent. As for Midoriya, he has many chances to capture Bakugo, but he drags on the fight and causes moderate destruction to the building. Had he knocked out and captured Bakugo earlier, Bakugo wouldn't have used the large-scale attack in the first place. He could use the wasted time of fighting Bakugo to help Uraraka instead, Yaoyorozu explained. As for Uraraka, she let her guard down mid-battle, revealing her position. She didn't have any concrete plan to secure the bomb and only moved around randomly, Yaoyorozu explained, making Uraraka feel downhearted. Iida had prepared for this opponent's arrival and assumed it would be a fight over the bomb, which made him late in responding to the final attack. Yaoyorozu explained. Then Iida started to smile joyfully in a goofy way. The hero team only won because they took advantage of the fact that this was training. They practically broke the rules and were only lucky, Yaoyorozu finished. The other students just look at her in silence. "She said more than I expected," All Might thought, trembling slightly. "Well, young Iida also has parts of him that could be more reflected." But well, that was correct. All Might claims that give Yaoyorozu a thumbs up. "We should always start with the basics to develop depth of learning. We must strive to devote ourselves wholeheartedly. Otherwise, we cannot become top heroes," Yaoyorozu claims proudly. "Alright, everyone. Let's change the location and start the second match. Tackle this training after thinking about what we just talked about," All Might said. "Yes, sir." The students comply except Bakugo, who is still lost in his own mind. Battle Building B, Todoroki, and Shoji are the hero team, while Toru and Ojiro are the villain team. Match 2. Team B is the heroes, and Team I is the villains. All Might stated, "Ojiro, I'm going to get serious. I'll take off my gloves and boots too." Toru claims as she takes off her costume. "Okay." Ojiro replied nervously, "Hackiguer, that's the correct decision as an invisible person, but that's not great for a girl, morally speaking." Ojiro thought nervously, "I wonder what her face actually looked like." Ojiro wondered as he looked at Toru. "You can't look okay?" Toru asked him, embarrassed as she noticed Ojiro staring at her. "I can't see you even if I tried," Ojiro replied, sweat dropping. "Now, let's start the second indoor person-to-person combat training match," All Might declared, and then the training started. Shoji opened his arms, then created ears from the tip of the arm, and started listening. One in the hall on the north side of the 4th floor. The other is somewhere on the same floor, they're barefoot. The invisible one is coming to ambush and capture us, huh? Shoji explains. "Go outside. It's dangerous. I'm sure our opponents intended to fight a defensive battle," Todoroki told Shoji. Then he froze the wall and floor with his left side. "But it won't work on me," Todoroki finished. Then he froze the whole building in an instant while Shoji headed outside and looked a little stunned. "Awa, my feet!" Toru yells out as her feet are stuck in ice. "Ditch this quirks," Ojiro said, stunned as he was also stuck by ice. Todoroki then appears from the door and enters the room. Ojiro moves to a limited fighting stance. "You can move if you want, but the skin on your feet will come off, so you won't be able to fight your best," Todoroki stated as he walked past Ojiro. In the monitoring room, All Might and the students are shivering because of Todoroki's ice. He did not cause any damage to his teammate or the nuclear weapon. On top of that, he weakened the enemy, All Might said, shivering. "He's so strong." Kirishima claims, shivering. Bakugo looks at the screen with shock. Back to the training grounds, Todoroki walks to the bomb and then touches it. Hero team wins. All Might declares while Ojiro looks downhearted. Todoroki then used his right hand and released steam that melted the entire building. Heat? Ojiro asks, confused. It's hot. Toru yells, moving around in a puddle of hot water. Sorry, the difference in our abilities was too great. Todoroki apologized to Ojiro, then walked out of the building and met Shoji outside. Wow. Sato said, stunned. What's up with that quirk? Kaminari asked, scared. As expected of someone who got through recommendations, Azui stated. All right, everyone gathers around for a review of the second match. Next, we begin the third match. All Might orders. Yes, sir. The students reply while Bakugo looks restless. Battle Building 𝐶𝐮𝐬 and Kirishima are the villain team, while Tokoyami and Azui are the hero team. 𝐶𝐮𝐬 is making a web of tape from his elbow that covers the space near the bomb. While Kirishima hardened his hands, then the two of them are in a defensive stance guarding the weapon. Meanwhile, downstairs, Tokoyami is walking inside the building. As he enters the shadow, Dark Shadow appears with a frightening pose, while Azui is climbing the wall nearby. Kero, Azui croaks on the wall. Battle Building D, Yaoyorozu and Mineta are the villain team, while Kaminari and Jairu are the hero team. Yaoyorozu is building a barricade on the door with metal bars. Meanwhile, Mineta is enjoying the view of her but then thumbs up. Yaoyorozu notices this and then glares at the purple midget. No, Mineta said fearfully. Downstairs, Jairu is using her earlobe against the wall and listening for any sound, and where it came from. She then points up at Kaminari, signaling that there's someone upstairs. Kaminari then charges up his electricity in his hand. In Battle Building E, Sato and Koda are the villain team, while Aoyama and Mina are the hero team. Sato flexes and then prepares himself in a fighting stance, but Koda is nervous at Sato's behavior. Downstairs, Aoyama is walking elegantly while Mina slides with her acid. Yahoo! Mina yelled excitedly while throwing her arms in the air. Unfortunately, some of her acid hit Aoyama's cape, making him depressed. Sorry, Mina apologized. Back in the monitoring room, All Might is smiling widely, proud of his students. Hours pass by, and by the end of the combat class, it's already 14:30 p.m. Good work, everyone. We didn't have any major injuries other than young Midoriya either. You guys took this seriously. You all did a good job for your first training. All Might claims with a thumbs up. To have such a proper class after Mr. Aizawa's class. It's kind of anticlimactic, Azui claims, with most of the students nodding in agreement. We're free to have proper classes as well. Well then, I have another class to teach. Change and return to the classroom. All Might ordered, then he dashed his way through the exit. All Might's amazing. Kaminari exclaims in awe. As All Might is running across the tunnel, he looks back at Bakugo. Young Bakugo is a lump of pride, and nothing more fragile than a heart that's swelling to bursting. As his teacher, I must counsel him well. But right now, All Might thought as his body began to produce steam. All Might then enters a teacher's room and closes the door. If I can teach a class. All Might body then puffs out steam, and he deflates into his skeleton-like figure. I barely have enough time. SHD, he gasps heavily. Back at Field Gamma, the students still look in awe at All Might dashing away. Why was he in such a hurry? Ojiro asks, confused. Maybe he still wanted to do some hero work outside. That's only making him even manlier. Kirishima claims with manly tears. Right? Some girls sweat drop. You never change that manly behavior, Ijiro. Mina sweat drop. This is who I am. The manly man. Kirishima claim. You two know each other. Ajiats. Yeah, we go to the same junior high, Mina replies before she has an evil smirk. Do you know? Ijiro used to have a black dash, Mina said, making Kirishima's eyes widen, and he closed her mouth. A black what? Everyone was confused. Black shoes. I used to have a pair of black shoes. Kirishima yells while he keeps closing Mina's mouth. Mina then liked Kirishima's hand on her mouth, making Kirishima release her. EW. Mina, don't lick my hand. Kirishima wipes his hands on his breathes. Blee. Mina's tongue was out before running away. Get back here, Mina. Kirishima yells as he chases her down. They looked like a couple, Toru said. Yeah, the class agrees. Let's go back before Mr. Aizawa found us here and ask us, what are you kids doing here after the training is over? Kaminari impersonates Aizawa's voice, making the whole class laugh. DMN. That's pretty spot on. Ciro laughs. Better not say that in front of him, thought Shoji claims. Okay, I'm serious, let's get out of here, Kaminari said, and everyone got out from Field Gamma. Nurse's office. The school year has just begun, and I already have my first patient. Why didn't you stop the training, All Might? Recovery Girl asks. All Might coughs a few times. I apologize, Recovery Girl. He apologizes. Why are you apologizing to me for? Recovery Girl asks angrily. On top of his total exhaustion, he also suffers from light internal bleeding. I can't heal him at once, so after the 4 is finished, we can only wait for his body to heal slowly overnight, she explains as Izuku is sleeping on the bed with his suit removed and lying on the table beside him. Geez, I know he's your favorite and you told him your power, but that doesn't mean you should spoil him. He was lucky his suit took the brunt of the attack. Recovery Girl scolded. There is nothing I can say to that. Because I wanted to consider his feelings, I hesitated to stop the training match, All Might explained. Even so, I know you wanted him to be the first quirkless hero. But he needs to be alive to achieve that, All Might, Recovery Girl sighs out. I know, it's just like I'm seeing my past self in him. And his tenacity, I never seen anyone as tenacious as he is. I wanted to support him not just as his teacher, but as his friend as well, All Might explain while looking at Izuku. Recovery Girl then smiled. If that's the case, then it's even more important for you to learn what it means to guide someone, she said. Yes, ma'am, All Might complied. Time skip. Izuku grunts before he slowly opens his eyes. At first is dizzy and confused, but after a while, he realizes that he is inside the infirmary. He sighs before he notices the clock displays 16:55 p.m. It's late afternoon. He said, surprised. Are you awake? Recovery Girl suddenly appears in Izuku's peripheral vision, surprising him a little. Later, Izuku is walking through the hallway. He wears his suit back and holds his helmet on his left arm. Sigh. He sighed. I ended up skipping all my afternoon classes. How much did I just miss? He thought, worried. Izuku then reaches his class and slowly opens the door. Oh, Midoriya's here. Kirishima notices Izuku. Good work, he said as he and the class all gathered in front of Izuku. Huh. Izuku is surprised. I don't know what you were saying during the match, but you were fired up. Kirishima praises Izuku. Now I know why you came up first in the entrance exam. Ciro claim. You did a good job dodging. Mina claim. You guys did that in the first match, so the rest of us had to give it all, too, Sato claimed with the others agreeing. You were far from elegant, but Aoyama said, but Mina cut him off. You did a good job dodging. Mina claims, jumping around eagerly. You already said that. Izuku said nervously as he looked away. A door is opened, then Uraraka and Kaminari walk inside carrying books. Hey, Uraraka, wanna grab a bite to eat something? What do you like? Kaminari asks Uraraka. Machi dash. Uraraka answers when she sees Izuku and walks to him, leaving a depressed Kaminari behind. Wait, Midoriya, you're back, are okay? You took a long time in the nurse's office, Uraraka asked Izuku worriedly. I'm fine, I'm a little bit injured. But I'm fine now, Izuku assures. Really? You did pass out back then, Mina asks curiously. But you are wearing a full-body support device. I don't think you are injured that badly, Ciro claims. Yeah. I'm not really injured. Izuku replies nervously. Kirishima noticed Izuku was nervous. Midoriya, some of us have to tell you something, he said, with almost the whole class facing Izuku. What do you want to say? Izuku asks nervously. Suddenly, all of them bow their heads down, surprising Izuku. Huh. Ha! Izuku yells in surprise. We apologize for our past behaviors. They all apologize. What? Izuku is still lost. They are apologizing for bad-mouthing you before, Midoriya, Uraraka told him, smiling. Izuku is uncertain since no one ever apologized to him for their behavior. After they know he is quirkless. We are sorry for our bad-mouthing you for being quirkless. We clearly have a lot to learn if we want to be pro-heroes, 𝗀𝗧𝗟 apologized. And one of them is to not look down on someone who was not, quote-unquote, blessed, as we are, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 claims. That's a very rude way of saying it, Jiro deadpanned. I don't mind, I was not blessed with a quirk after all, Izuku smiled sadly. But you do have something else, right? Toru asks nervously, you are blessed with those awesome martial arts moves. She exclaims. Yeah, that, Sato agrees. And I assumed brilliance as well since I'm sure you created those support devices yourself, right? Shoji asks. Yeah, I am, Izuku replied, smiling slightly. Then that is manly. Kirishima said excitedly. Yeah, while we relied on an outside support company, you created that support device yourself. That is cool, Kaminari said, smiling. Oh, I'm Denki Kaminari by the way, Kaminari introduced himself. And I'm Hanta 𝗧𝗟𝗘 introduced himself. Nice knowing you too, Izuku nodded, but a little nervous as well. I'm Ijiro Kirishima. And you are manly. Kirishima claimed, excited. Bounger Messier Midoriya. My name is Yuga Aoya Aoyama is cut by an energetic pink-skinned girl. I'm Ishido Mina. Mina yells excitedly. She cut him, Izuku thought. I'm Tsuyu Azui. But please call me Tsu, Karo, Azui introduced herself. I'm Sato, Sato introduced. I'm Mineta. Mineta jumped up between them. Where the heck did you pop out from? 𝗀𝗟𝗃 asks, confused. I'm Mizo Shoji. It's a pleasure, Midoriya. Shoji extends his hands. Which one should I shake? Izuku asks as Shoji extends 3 arms to him. Sorry. Shoji pulls back 2 arms, and Izuku shakes the one remaining hand. I'm Masahiro Ojiro. Ojiro, bow down, martial arts style. Izuku Midoriya, Izuku also bow down. Kyuka Jiro here, Jiro introduced. I'm Momo Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu bowed slightly. Fumikage Tokoyami, Tokoyami said flatly. Kuji Koda, Koda nervously introduced himself. Todoroki just sits in his chair and does not say anything. He is Shoto Todoroki. He doesn't talk much, 𝗀𝗟𝗃 said. Izuku scans the room and realizes Bakugo is not there. Where is Bakugo? We all tried to stop him, but he went home just now without saying anything, Uraraka replied. Izuku thought for a second before he walked outside the classroom and looked outside on the window before spotting Bakugo walking out from the school gate. Is something wrong, Midoriya? Uraraka asks as she and the class follow Izuku to the window. Izuku has a lot on his mind before he speaks. No, nothing, Izuku replies before he walks back inside the classroom. A bar, somewhere in a city. Did you see this joke? All Might's a teacher now, a man with a raspy voice said before he drank his liquor and then put the newspaper on the table. It doesn't matter whether All Might's a teacher or not for me. You have your goal, I have mine. As long we are beneficial for each other, we can achieve what we want, a man beside the first man claims. Together, we will destroy the society. The first man said. And rebuilt a new one of our image. The second man finished, then those two began to laugh evilly. Izuku is walking to school peacefully, enjoying the good morning like most people that morning. That is, until he reached the U.I. gate and saw a ton of news reporters outside the school gate. What? Izuku said, confused by the reporters. Hey, how are All Might's classes? The reporter asks. No comments. Izuku said nervously before he moved away from the reporters. Wait, aren't you the one from the sludge villain incident 10 months ago? Another reporter said as he realized Izuku. Sorry, I need to go to the nurse's office for a checkup, Izuku replies as he walks into the school. But the reporters surround him and ask questions, much to Izuku's annoyance. You are all bothering our students. Move away, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 said tiredly. Who are you? A reporter yells as she doesn't recognize 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻. Move away. Present Mike yells, making everyone close their ears. Let's go, go, go. Izuku yelled at some students trapped by the reporters. They all then began to run inside the school. What? The reporter yelled as he chased them, when suddenly the front gate's defense system activated, a steel wall, closing the front gate completely. What the? The reporter yelled in terror. Vultures, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 mumbled, annoyed as he walked inside. Meanwhile, outside, the reporters are protesting about the gates, but across the street, a young man with pale skin, white/silver hair, and black clothing is watching the school from a distance. Class 1A classroom. Good work on yesterday's combat training. I saw the video and results, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 said, then he looked at Bakugo. Bakugo, you're talented, so don't act like a kid, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 reminded. I know. Bakugo said, looking away. Now let's get down to homeroom business. Sorry about the late notice, but today, I'll have you. 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 said flatly. Take another special test. The students thought worried. Decide on a class representative, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 finishes. It's actually a normal school activity. The students thought in relief. I want to be class rep, pick me. Kirishima yells with his hands in the air. Me too. Kaminari said, raising his hand. I want to do it too, Jiru said, raising her hand as well. It's a job made for 𝐴OYAMA claimed, but Mina cut him off. I'll be the leader, Mina said, swinging her hands. In a normal class, students might feel like they're just taking on daily duties, and something like this won't happen. But here in the hero course, it's a role that allows one to practice being a top hero by leading a group, Izuku narrated. Let me do it. Bakugo yells, raising his hand. Good lord, Izuku facepalms seeing his classmates' behavior, though he also timidly raised his hand. Silent please. Ida yells, making them stop shouting and look at Ida. It is a job with the serious responsibility of leading others. It is not a job for just anyone who wants to do it. It is a calling that requires the trust of those around you. If we want to use democracy to decide on a true leader, then we should hold an election to choose one, Ida explains with his hand up. Your hand is raised the highest. The students yell together. Why did you suggest that? Kaminari asked, confused. We haven't known each other for that long, so how can we trust or anything? Azui asks, touching her chin. If that's the case, and everyone votes for themselves, Kirishima said. Don't you think that is precisely why whoever receives multiple votes here can be truly considered the most suitable person? Ida claim. That's not always the case, Izuku said, making them look at Izuku. People can lie to gain trust, and just because someone is trustworthy doesn't mean they can lead a team. Everyone can become a leader, but not everyone can become a good leader, Izuku commented. What do you think, Mr. 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻? Ida asks 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻. I don't care, as long as you decide before homeroom is over, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 said before he fell down and slept. Thank you very much. Ida appreciates, let's get the election started. Ida yell. Minutes later. On the board, Izuku's and Momo's names have 5 and 2 votes, respectively. WhatIf? Izuku said, confused, seeing his votes. Why Deku? Who voted for him? Bakugo yells, standing up. Well, it's better than voting for you, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 commented. What do you say? Bakugo yells. Meanwhile Uraraka whistles, Kirishima smiles and Azui touches her chin. It'll be scary if Bakugo finds out. Uraraka thought, still whistling. I give up, I give up. 0 votes, I knew that would happen. That is only to be expected of a person's calling, Ida said, frustrated. You voted for someone else, huh? Yaoyorozu asks. But you wanted to do it too. What are you trying to do, Ida? Sato asks, confused. Izuku and Yaoyorozu are now in front of the class. Then, the class rep is Midoriya, and the deputy rep will be Yaoyorozu, 𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐻 said sleepily. Is this serious? Izuku asks, still in confusion. How vexing. Yaoyorozu sighs. That might not be too bad, Azui said, touching her chin. After all's said and done, Midoriya can be pretty fired up anyway, Kirishima agreed with her. And Yaoyorozu was cool when we were going over the battle results. Kaminari claim. Lunchtime. There are a lot of people today too. Uraraka gaped. That's because everyone in the hero course, support course, and management course meets in the same place, Ida explains. Uraraka eats some rice. The rice is so delicious, she claims. Meanwhile, Izuku is just playing with his chopsticks. You okay, Midoriya? Uraraka asked worriedly. I'm just not sure I'll be able to lead the class. I felt unqualified, Izuku answered sighing. You are qualified, Uraraka assured. It will be all right. Your courage and judgment at critical moments make you worth following. That's why I voted for you, Ida stated. I know that, Izuku replies, surprising Ida. You know I voted for you. Ida asks, surprised. Well, yeah, Izuku replies, eating his food. How? Uraraka asks, curious. I just see whose votes are empty and yours, Ida, Kirishima, Azui, and Todoroki's are empty, Izuku explained before he drank some cola and then continued explaining. So excluding me, the next 4 voters are either Ida, Uraraka, Kirishima, Azui, or Todoroki. And since Todoroki is a hard book to read and we're not close, I'm thinking he votes Yaoyorozu, so you, Uraraka, and the other 3 vote for me, Izuku explained, pointing his chopstick at Uraraka, who is surprised. Wow, Midoriya, Uraraka said in awe. You able to piece together something like that with a minimal clue and a short time. Looks like we chose the right class rep, Ida said smiling. I just like puzzles and I watch too many detective movies, Izuku replied, chuckling. But didn't you want to be class rep too, Ida? Uraraka asks. I mean, you've got the glasses and everything, she claims. Izuku looks at Uraraka in surprise. For real? He thought. Wanting to do it and being suitable for it are different issues, just like what Midoriya said before the voting, that not everyone can be a good leader. I merely did what I judged to be correct, Ida claimed. Just because I said that, doesn't mean I am a good leader, Izuku said. Merely. You don't usually use that word. Uraraka notices Ida's word of choice. Oh, that's. Ida said nervously. I've been thinking. Are you a rich boy, Ida? Uraraka asks with a bright smile. Rich? Ida said, shocked. I'm thinking more of a high class, but high class people are usually rich. So yeah, I'm with her. Izuku agrees with Uraraka. Ida sighed. I tried to change how I talk because I don't want to be called that, he said, making Izuku and Uraraka stare at him. Sigh. Yes, my family has been heroes for generations. I'm the second son, Ida explains. What? Uraraka said in awe. Do you know the turbo hero 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫? Ida asks. I do. He is a popular hero who has 65 sidekicks at his Tokyo agency. Izuku replies excitedly. Don't tell me. Uraraka realizes something. He is my elder brother. Ida exclaims. He's telling us straight out. Uraraka said. That's amazing. Izuku said excitedly. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 is an unmatched commander who honors the hero code. As the second oldest Ida's son, I strive to be just like him. However, I think it may be a bit too soon for me to be in a real leadership role, Ida claims. Like I said, Ida, Izuku tries to speak, but he is cut off by an alarm bell surprising the students inside the cafeteria. There has been a level 3 security breach. All students, please evacuate outdoors promptly, an announcement said. Then the students began to rush out. What's level 3 security? Ida asked an upperclassman. It means someone is trespassing on school grounds. I've never seen anything like this in the 3 years I've been here. The upperclassmate answered frantically, You should hurry too. He yells before running away. We should move. Ida yells, then everyone runs to the exit. Everyone started to run to the exit while panicking, and the narrow exit created a bottleneck situation and made the evacuation stall out. Geez, everyone calm down. Kirishima yelled, but no one listened as he and Kaminari were swept away by the people around them. Mina. Toru yelled as she separated from class 1. I'm stuck. Mina groans as she is stuck in a sea of humans. Ida, Midoriya. Where are you two? Uraraka thought as she was separated from the two. As expected of you, everyone reacted fast, Ida said, being sandwiched by people. Who in the world would trespass into you? Izuku squeezed through the crowd near the window. When he looks out he sees some reporters inside the school grounds. Wait, how did they get in? Izuku thought, surprised as he tried to move but got pushed back. If only I have my Jian drive. Izuku groans when he hears Uraraka grunting. He looks forward and sees her in front of him in the sea of people. Izuku then squeezed through the crowd towards Uraraka. Uraraka! Izuku calls her before extending his arm. Uraraka looks back and sees Izuku extending his arm towards her. Make me float, Uraraka. He ordered. Uraraka then extends her hand to try to reach Izuku's hand. At first, she misses, but she tries again and succeeds the second time. Izuku can feel his body become light. He then jumps up and floats above everyone. He then floats to the ceiling before he jumps towards the exit. He then stops on the ceiling above the exit. Everyone calm down. Izuku yells loudly, making everyone look at him. There's no need to panic, it's just the press. Look outside, Izuku yells. Some students who are near the window look out and see many reporters inside the school. He's right. I see some reporters from this morning. A student yells. Yes, reporters. So there's no need to panic. Everyone, calm down, Izuku said, making everyone calm down. Seeing the situation under control, Izuku sighs before signaling Uraraka to let him down. His classmates see Izuku land and know they picked the right president for their class. Class 1A classroom. Good job dealing with the cafeteria panic, Midoriya. Those students are irrational to panic like that. With how you handle it and take control. I'd say you deserve the president role, Aizawa praises Izuku. Thank you, sir. I'll try my best to lead the class. And I hope everyone cooperates as well, Izuku said, a little nervous. Don't worry, we will, Midoriya. Kaminari claim. Yeah, you definitely have the soul of a leader. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 claim. You are manly in how you deal with the situation, Midoriya. I think we are in good hands. Kirishima claims, with the whole class agreeing. Bakugo grunted. You, front gate. How were the ordinary members of the press able to do something like this? Someone instigated this. Did someone evil slip in, or was it intended to be a declaration of war? Nizu said, seeing the destroyed front gate. Class 1A classroom. For today's hero basic training, it's turned into a class with 3 instructors, All Might and me, and 1 more person, Aizawa said, surprising the students. 3 teachers. Sato said, surprised. That's a lot of teachers for a single class, Kodo said. Excuse me. What are we doing? Siro asks, raising his hand. Aizawa holds a card with the word, rescue, written on it. Disasters, shipwrecks, and everything in between. It's rescue training, Aizawa explains. Rescue looks like it'll be a lot of work this time, too, Kaminari claims. Right. Mina agrees. Idiot, this is the duty of a hero. Kirishima corrected. My arms are ready to rumble. Kirishima clenches his fists. No one can beat me in water, 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 claims. Hey, I'm not done, Aizawa said, and the students became silent. You can decide if you want to wear your costume or not this time. Because there are probably costumes that limit your abilities, too, Aizawa explains, then presses a button and the costume rack appears from the wall. The training will take place off campus, so we're taking a bus. That is all. Start getting ready, Aizawa added, then he walked out of the classroom. Outside the main building. Class 1A is waiting for their bus to take them to the UJ to arrive. Izuku is wearing his full-body suit as he waits with others. Midoriya, didn't your suit get damaged yesterday? Uraraka asks as she approaches him. I fixed them last night. I mean, I created them, I need to be able to maintain and fix them as well, Izuku explained. Is that so? Uraraka replied when the bus arrived. All right, everyone, get on the bus one by one, Izuku ordered. Inside the bus. I say whatever comes to mind, Midoriya, Azui said, then faced Izuku. Yes, Azui. Izuku replies nervously. Call me Tsu. What are those shiny particles from your back device? Exia asks. That. It's a little hard to understand since it involved some heavy science, Izuku said. What heavy science? Sato asks, confused. The device is called GN drive or solar furnace or reactor. It's basically an energy generator that harnesses the byproduct of baryonic decay as an energy source, Izuku explains before looking at his classmates' confused faces. Baryonic decay is the spontaneous process of one unstable subatomic particle transforming into multiple other particles. Those shiny particles are called GN particles. I know it's hard to understand, Izuku explains. Very, 𝐬𝐻 said with confusion. How did you even know that? Mineta asks, confused. I didn't. My parents discovered it over 15 years ago, Izuku replied. Are you perhaps? Yaoyorozu said as she realized something. Yes, I am the son of Hisashi and Inko Midoriya, Izuku replies, smiling a bit. Who? Kaminari asks, confused. They are both famous scientists from 15 years ago. They have invented a design for a revolutionary power source. Don't tell me. Is that? Yaoyorozu explains before she realizes it. Yeah, the GN drive is their design. For the last 9 years, I kept testing and experimenting, and now it's become a reality, Izuku explained, smiling with pride. But if your parents are famous scientists, then why didn't they announce their creation? And why are you using it now? 𝐬𝐻. Yaoyorozu is surprised by 𝐬𝐻's question, but before she can say anything. They died 9 years ago, Izuku said in sorrow. The class gasped in shock, and even Aizawa glanced back from the front of the bus. Our apartment caught on fire, I'm the only survivor. Izuku added, sighing off. Everyone, even Bakugo, looks away in discomfort as their classmates have experienced something most people don't. Midoriya. I'm sorry, I don't know. 𝐬𝐻 said, feeling bad. It's alright. It's been almost a decade now. I've moved on, Izuku said before glancing at the GN drive on his back. This GN drive is the only thing I have left of my parents. This is their legacy. And I'm planning to make it to reality, Izuku explains, smiling. Midoriya. Uraraka looked at Izuku with pity. But, in my understanding, no one survived the apartment fire. I think around 30 people died, Yaoyorozu said nervously. I decided that I will lie low and disappear, Izuku replied. Why? Bakugo asks, annoyed, why do you want to disappear? Take a guess, Bakugo, Izuku said angrily. I have become both quirkless and an orphan. I won't survive long if I tell the world I'm still alive. That's why I've been hiding, especially from you, he claims while glaring at Bakugo. Bakugo then glares back, and the two of them glare at each other. But you are lucky to have a flashy quirk, Midoriya, Kirishima said, trying to break the tension. All I have is a lame hardening quirk, he said as he hardened his arms. It's not about how flashy it is, Kirishima, but how useful is it for you and others? You are a shield. A sturdy shield that doesn't break or waver from any attacks, Izuku claims. Demon, that sounded very manly. Thank you, Midoriya. Kirishima said excitedly. If we're talking about flashy, then Todoroki and Bakugo are sure to gain attention, Kaminari pointed at Bakugo and Todoroki. But Bakugo will never be popular with his violent behavior, Azui claims bluntly. The F you say? You wanna die, frog? Bakugo yelled angrily. See, Azui pointed at the angry Bakugo. Why are you always angry, Bakugo? Ida asks. Mind your own DMN business. Bakugo yelled angrily. That's his secret, Ida. He is always angry, Izuku claims, Fing Deku. Bakugo yelled angrily. Such vulgar conversation. Yaoyorozu closed her mouth, disturbed by how Bakugo talked. But it was kind of funny, Uraraka smiled. We're here. Prepare yourself, Aizawa said as they reached their destination. Yes, sir. The students comply. Everyone, I have been waiting for you, 13 greeted the students. It's the space hero, 13. The brave hero who has rescued tons of people from disasters. Oh, I love 13. Uraraka claims excitedly. Let's go inside without delay, 𝗀 said as she pointed to the entrance. Look forward to working with you. Class 1A said, bowing down. Inside the building, there are numerous sites like mountains, shipwrecks, fire zone, storm zone, ruins, landslides, etc. Wow, it looks like Universal Studios Japan. 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 claims with awe. It is a training ground that I made with different types of accidents and disasters. It's called the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, or 𝗧𝗜𝗧𝗟𝗘 for short. 𝗀 explained the building. It really is 𝗧𝗜𝗧𝗟𝗘, the students thought. Did they buy the copyright for the name or something? Izuku thought. 𝗀 wears All Might. He is supposed to meet us here, Aizawa says. About that, it looks like he did too much hero work on his way to work and ran out of time, so he's resting in the lounge, 𝗀 answered, making a 3 with her fingers. That's the height of irrationality, Aizawa said, annoyed. It can't be helped. Shall we begin? Aizawa asks, let's see. Before we begin, let me say one thing. Or 2 or 3. Or 4. 5, 6, 7. 𝗀 said nervously. It's increasing. Class 1A thought, sweat dropping. Everyone, I'm sure you are aware of my quirk, black hole. It can SCK up anything and turn it to dust, 𝗀 explained. Yeah, your quirk 𝐒𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫, Kaminari joked, but everyone look at him surprised and none laugh. What? Her quirk literally 𝐒𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐴. Kaminari defended in panic. Haha, yeah, my quirk literally 𝐒𝐮𝐴, 𝗀 laughs. Anyway, in a superhuman society, personal quirks have been certified and stringently regulated, so that doesn't seem to be a problem at first glance. However, please do not forget that many quirks can easily kill others with one wrong step. 𝗀 explained, making some students touch or feel their quirks. With Aizawa's physical fitness test, you found out about the possibility of your own hidden powers, and with All Might's person-to-person combat training, I think you will experience the danger of using those powers against others. This class is a fresh start. You shall learn how to use your quirks to save people's lives. You do not have powers, so you could harm others. I hope you leave here with the understanding that you have the power to help others. 𝗀 explains, and the last part makes Bakugo annoyed. That is all. Thank you for listening. 𝗀 replies, then bow down. That was wonderful. Mina's claim is exciting. Bravo! Proud. Ida yells, clapping his hands. The other students also praise the small lecture. All right then, first dash, Aizawa said, but he was cut off by lights shutting down and the fountain in the middle of the U stopped working. Then from near the fountain a black portal appeared out of nowhere. From inside the portal, the same person from the lunch incident appears with a hand on his face. Aizawa, who saw this, ordered the students, gather together and don't move. 𝗀, protect the students. He yells, confusing the students except Izuku, who's petrified by something from the portal. What? Kirishima asks, confused. Then he sees the portal. What's that? He yelled, making the others look at the portal where some unknown people exited the portal. Is this like the entrance exam where the lessons already started? Kirishima asks, confused. Don't move. Aizawa yelled, then he used his goggles. Those are villains, he added, making the students become tense. From the portal, a metal feet stomp the ground, and another stomps the ground as the body exits the portal. It is a tan-colored robot. It is a humanoid-looking robot with an elongated neck and looks like a gun on the underside of its chin. Then another robot exited the portal, but this time it was green. It looked quite similar to the tan-colored robot, but it had more armor and a larger long-barrel gun on its chin. Izuku spotted the robots and moved to the edge of the stairs. Midoriya, get back. Those are real villains. Aizawa ordered Izuku to stay away. Are those robots? Izuku said, stunned, as more of the tan and green robots exited the portal one by one. That is not important, get back. Aizawa ordered sternly. Wait, robots. 𝗧𝗟𝗘 said, surprised, as he moved beside Izuku to take a look. Whoa. Those are robots. He yelled, surprise. So there are evil villains and killer robots. Mineta screamed. The green robot sensors detected the class, and it then faced the class and aimed its underchin gun toward the class. Is that one looking at us? Kaminari said nervously. The green robot then steadied its stance and fine-tuned the gun aim. Its single red dot on the black half-circle lens lit up before it fired the underchin gun. Get down! Izuku yells as he shoves Kaminari away before putting his shield up and blocking the bullet. Unexpectedly, the bullet explodes upon impact with Izuku's shield, and Izuku is pushed back by the force of the impact and explosion. Class 1A screams in surprise as they fall because of the unexpected explosion. What was that? Sato screams in surprise. Is that a bomb? 𝐀𝐮𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐫 yells in surprise. It's not Bakugo. Kirishima claims that Bakugo is also on the ground, surprised by the explosion as well. What was that? Villain attacks. 13 said, surprised. It's 30mm he. Izuku yell. 30 what? Mina yelled, surprised and confused. The caliber is 30mm. And it's a high explosive round. Izuku yells when he blocks another 30mm He grunts. What is going on? Toru screams in terror. Those robots. They have military-grade weapons. Izuku screamed. They have what? Class 1A screamed in surprise. 13, evacuate everyone now. Aizawa ordered. Incoming. Izuku warns. Everyone got down just in time when 430mm he struck Izuku's shield, creating several small explosions that started to shred his shield. Target located. Proceeding to eliminate, the unknown robots then aim their guns at Izuku as he takes cover. Behind his deteriorating shield. DMN. Izuku gritted his teeth.